incredibly excited about the prospect.
Yo,
of pushing more
hello,
cave. When they
stream.
reached the slump pit, Odell examined the climb down into the depression. He found it to be relatively easy. The 8x7-foot pit wasn't particularly deep or technical, just a matter of carefully lowering yourself down into the mud-floored depression. At the bottom, beneath an overhanging section of flowstone, Odell could see what looked like a promising lead, a passage approximately 3 feet high by 1 to 2 feet wide. This was definitely worth investigating. Odell descended into the slump pit to get a closer look at the potential continuation. He reached the bottom of the pit and began examining the low passage beneath the flowstone overhang. But within seconds of reaching the bottom, something went terribly wrong. Odell was using a carbide lamp as his source of light. Carbide lamps produce a steady white flame that provides excellent light for caving. But suddenly, Odell's lamp flame changed dramatically. The normal white flame turned bright yellow and extended to an abnormal length of 6 to 8 inches. Even more strangely, the base of the flame was positioned about 2 inches away from the lamp's orifice, rather than directly at the gas outlet. This bizarre flame behavior was an immediate warning sign that something was wrong with the atmosphere in the pit. Before Odell could fully process what he was seeing, he began experiencing physical symptoms. In less than a minute, he became dizzy. His breathing felt labored and insufficient, as if he couldn't get enough air into his lungs despite breathing normally. His coordination deteriorated rapidly, and he found himself bouncing off the passage walls as he tried to move. Odell's experience and training kicked in despite his impaired state. He recognized that he was in bad air, an atmosphere with insufficient oxygen,
There we go.
excessive carbon dioxide, or
Right, we're back.
gases.
Hello.
He knew that he needed to get out of the pit immediately before the symptoms progressed to unconsciousness.
They might be on the. Oh, they're on the thing.
Quickly climbed back
As you
up
could
out
tell,
of the
I cleaned
slump
all the
pit
shoes
to
off.
Jay's survey
Put our
passage
shoes that
lane,
we
where the
currently
air
use.
quality was normal.
Are
His companions
currently
helped
using,
him
darling.
emerge from the pit, probably concerned by his obvious distress and disorientation. Odell sat in the better air and focused on breathing,
Sorry, it took me forever to do it.
allowing his body to recover from the brief exposure to the bad atmosphere. After several minutes of breathing normal air, Odell's symptoms subsided. His breathing returned to normal, the dizziness faded, and his coordination improved. He had been fortunate to recognize the danger.
As you can tell, we were
and
dead.
extract himself
Running back.
before suffering more severe effects from the bad air.
Oh, okay.
To
see.
confirm and demonstrate what Odell
look
had
good?
experienced, one of his companions conducted a simple test. He placed a candle on the floor of the slump pit and watched what happened. The flame was extinguished in just 15 seconds. Dramatic
Yo, what
proof
up,
that the
everybody? Hello.
atmosphere at the bottom of the pit was incapable of supporting combustion and therefore incapable of supporting
Looks
human
better than
life
the other
for
boat we've
any
been getting,
extended
so
period.
it's like full.
Following this incident, Tom Allers compiled a detailed accident
Hey, man.
report documenting Odell's experience.
Hell yeah, dude.
The report prompted research.
Just give us
into
the number,
what
bro.
exactly
We'll
was
skip
happening
the
in the
middleman.
J247 slump pit. Odell and others conducted library research and consulted with State of Kentucky
he keep
mining
doing that.
experts and water specialists
He can keep doing all that.
to understand the atmospheric conditions they had encountered. The conclusion was that the air in the slump pit was high in carbon dioxide and dangerously low in oxygen.
I'll pay you an extra 20
Depression was
just to drive
essentially
out that.
acting
Look
as
at
a
that.
trap for heavy gases, particularly carbon dioxide, which is denser than normal air and tends to collect in low-lying areas with poor circulation. The drought conditions that had drained the water from the
Oh my God.
also
Oh my
exposed
God.
this atmospheric hazard that had been masked by the standard effort for
Oh my
over a
God.
decade. Throughout the summer of 1988, the J247 slump pit
As you can
became
tell,
something
we
of
are
an
still running
attraction
back
for
'cause we
survey
died so
parties
fucking
working in
far.
that section of Hicks
We went
Cave.
AFK right
Teams would
before
stop
I
at Station
streamed and
J247
came back
specifically
dead,
to
so
demonstrate the bad air
we
phenomenon.
are here.
It became an educational stop on survey
Very soon we
trips.
will be running a
But what was
sick
treated
hero
as an
stream.
interesting curiosity and
Let's see
teaching
Rage
opportunity
live.
during the summer would become
God
the start of
damn
the season in
it!
October. The bad air
What
that
happened?
had been demonstrated
Oh yeah,
safely
sorry
from the
darlings.
rim
I
of the
picked it
pit
up
would reveal
with
its
it
true self.
by the thing and it
The
just
warning
fell right
signs
off.
were
I'm
clear.
so sorry.
The danger was known and
I was like, God
documented,
damn it.
but the J247 slump pit
What
wasn't
did I
finished
do?
claiming attention from the caving community. On October 8th, 1988, 4 caving experts descended into Hicks Cave in Kentucky. 4 months had passed since Phil Odell's discovery of the bad air at Station J, 247 in Hicks Cave. Throughout the summer of 1988,
La-dee,
that
la-da-dee.
slump pit had become a curiosity, a teaching opportunity where survey teams would stop to demonstrate the atmospheric hazards that could exist in cave systems. But summer had turned to fall, and the drought that had drained the pit and exposed the bad air continued. By October, the atmospheric conditions in that section of Hicks Cave had changed in ways that nobody understood or anticipated. At around noon on Saturday, October 8th, the team of 4 gathered at the WAR entrance to Hicks Cave, several miles south of where the cave's underground rivers resurge into the Green River. The group consisted of Tom Allers, who was 40 years old and was the one who compiled Odell's accident report in the Hicks Cave system. He was along Duke Hopper, 41.
These things are
who
so
was
fucking hard to
equally
drop.
experienced in exploring and surveying
Drop for me,
this
baby. I
20-mile
need it.
long maze.
Please.
With them were Larry Peterson, 40, and Barbara Graham, who at 22 was the youngest member of the group. The war entrance required descending an 85-foot, 26-meter vertical drop to reach the horizontal passages below. The
Boink.
4 rigged their ropes and descended
You're
one by
dead.
one, leaving their vertical gear at the bottom of the entrance
Go
pit.
kill this thing, so
They
it will
wouldn't need
drop
the rope equipment
the
for
top
rest
of
the trip,
Galax-
since Hicks Cave was
Gilcax
primarily
Key.
horizontal walking and crawling
Gilcax.
passages. The entrance was blowing outward as it typically did in cool weather, creating a chimney effect with the lower entrances on the Green River about 150 feet below. The group had a specific mission for this trip. They planned to collect samples of black material from 2 locations in the cave, one at Station O24 and another from the stream bed that connected stations J278 and J247. These samples would be analyzed to determine if the stream at O24 was related to the stream in the J survey section, which would help map the underground hydrology of the Hidden River complex. The 4 spelunkers made their way through the passages toward their first collection site at O24. They collected their samples there and then proceeded approximately 2,000 feet further into the cave toward the J survey section. This route required navigating the climb down of the 40-foot-high J280
Sheep.
dome, a
Still
significant
blasting.
vertical obstacle in an
Blasting,
otherwise
blasting,
horizontal cave system. They descended carefully and continued toward their second collection site near Station J247. Station J247 was,
Oh,
of
shit.
course, the location of the slump pit, where Phil Odell had encountered bad air back in June.
Oh no.
The pit that had contained a 2-foot deep
Oh,
pool
no,
from
Papa.
1976 through 1987
Alright, we're
was
not worried
still
about it.
dry from the ongoing drought.
I'm not worried about it. There we go. And we just whoop, and we're out of here.
The
Oh,
bottom of the pit remained unexplored, though it was reportedly one of the last potential connections to
and we out of
Hidden
here.
River Cave further
Oh, no.
upstream. Hidden River Cave had an infamous reputation in the Kentucky caving
that.
community. It was heavily polluted, contaminated
We are
by
okay.
sewage
Whew.
and industrial waste from the town
Oh
of
my
Horse Cave City.
God.
The cave's atmosphere was often described as vile, and the stream that flowed through it carried pollution that eventually discharged
ahead and just run
into
away,
springs
'cause you
in the
know
Green
what?
River. There was speculation
just
that
this
the
stupid
underground
little
water
mage
systems were
boy.
connected, and apparently the lead
That's
at the
right,
bottom of the
bitch.
J247
Run back to your pack.
smelled similar to
Run
the
back to your
cave.
peppy.
As the 4 approached station J247,
How dare you
they
disrespect
stopped
me, big dog.
approximately 5 to 10 feet short of the slump pit to prepare their sample collection equipment. This positioning was deliberate and cautious, given the known bad air hazard in the pit. They began removing their packs and organizing their gear for the sampling work. Peterson removed his helmet with its attached carbide lamp and set down his pack. Graham also removed her pack. Hopper set aside his ammo box camera case and took off his pack as well. Auchlers removed his right glove. As they were organizing their equipment,
All right, make
someone
this one my
noticed a
last one.
smell in the
Please.
passage. A
Please,
smell that
baby,
wasn't
please.
petroleum
Give it to me,
based
give
and
it to
wasn't
me.
the distinctive smell of
Strap, that's all I'm
ethylene
asking.
captain that's added to natural gas. It was described as somewhat like extra strong mold, an unusual scent that none of them could quite identify. Hopper and Allers were positioned nearest to the slump pit, with Peterson and Graham standing about 4 to 5 feet further back up the passage.
You
The
bastard.
group was ready to collect their water.
I told you
sample
to
from the
drop
stream
and you
that flowed
didn't.
Past the pit. Duke Hopper moved toward the slump pit,
How
carrying a
fucking
sample
dare
bottle.
you.
His carbide lamp was burning normally, producing a steady
It's,
white flame. He approached
Unacceptable.
cautiously, aware of the bad air hazard that had been
Are you gonna
documented
die?
4 months earlier. When he was approximately 2 to 3 feet from the rim of the pit, something extraordinary and terrifying happened. A bright blue fireball suddenly appeared near the ceiling of the passage, directly in front of Hopper's carbide lamp. The fireball was about 2 feet in diameter, hovering in the air like some kind of supernatural phenomenon. Hopper's immediate reaction was confusion. He thought his carbide lamp base had somehow split open or malfunctioned. But 2 seconds later, before anyone could process what they were seeing or react to the fireball, the entire area over the slump pit exploded with a tremendous whoosh. The explosion
I don't know why I did that. I should
filling the passage
over here playing this game fucking backwards, bro. That was the first time I'm playing this. Leveling up in classic.
By wisps of blue
damn.
flame dancing in the air around him.
I played this game long enough to not know to fucking do that.
Hitting the cave floor hard.
All right, big players make mistakes, you know what I'm saying? Let me see what you got for me, big dog. Oh, you fucking piece of shit.
Carbide lamps had been blown out by the force of the explosion. Barbara Graham and Larry Peterson, standing 4 to 5 feet back from Hopper and Allers, were outside the immediate blast zone of flames, but were so alarmed by what they were witnessing that their survival instincts took over immediately. Without conscious thought, both of them turned and began crawling frantically back up the passage, desperate to put distance between themselves and the inferno that had erupted at the slump pit. Hopper and Allers were engulfed in the flames.
Oh my God.
They had no idea where to go. The fire kept burning, refusing to die down. It felt like standing in front of a dragon's mouth, a non-stop flamethrower pouring heat at them. Relying only on muscle memory, Hopper and Allers started moving away from the pit blindly. They reached a point where they could finally see each other, but the heat was so extreme that it could take their lives at any moment. They had to act, and they had to act now. Both men realized they were now beneath the flames, pressed against the cave floor where they could still breathe relatively good air. The fire was above them, feeding on gases that were lighter than air, or mixed with the normal atmosphere at ceiling height. But they couldn't stay where they were. The passage was being filled with the rumble of fire. They had to crawl for their lives. Hopper and Allers began crawling back up
let's
the
go. We're
passage,
out of here.
keeping their noses pressed to the cave floor where the
Scammer
air was
gets
still
scammed.
breathable.
Finally.
They crawled beneath a ceiling of flames and heat, moving as fast as they could while staying low enough to avoid the worst of the fire above them. The first 40 feet of their escape was accomplished in this terrifying position, crawling on their bellies with blue flames dancing overhead.
Boy, skip all that, big dog.
40 feet, more than 12 meters. Larry Peterson
We're a
was back
solo
to where he
player.
and Graham had
No one. I don't really have
and
anyone
saw
to play
an
WoW
image
with.
that would be burned into his memory forever.
If you're cool,
Two
bro, hit me
silhouettes
up.
crawling through a wall of flame, their forms barely visible through the fire and heat. He felt a blast of intense heat wash over him, even from where he was positioned, and he continued moving away from the inferno. After crawling 40 to 50 feet from the slump pit, Hopper and Allers paused and looked back at what they had escaped from. The flames weren't following them up the passage, but back at J247, the scene was apocalyptic.
Oh,
The slump
yeah,
pit looked like a giant
That's the
Sterno
worst.
can, with flames burning
no.
wall to wall
Yeah,
in the
literally.
wide passage. A wall of solid blue flame started just a few inches above the top of the slump pit and extended upward, filling the passage. The rumble of the burning gases created a deep, steady roar that echoed through the cave. Hopper had burns, but was able to continue, and Allers noticed that his right hand took a brunt from the explosion. Their two companions had already moved out of sight further up the passage,
Like, bitch, we out
so
of here.
Hopper and Allers shared Allers' flashlight, the only functioning light they had between them, and continued heading toward the cave entrance. Peterson and Graham had stopped at a point where the passage gained enough height for walking, rather than crawling. When Hopper and Allers caught up with them, the group took stock of their situation. Allers was the only one who still had his pack, which contained extra carbide fuel and 2 spare flashlights plus an extra carbide lamp. They managed to relight 2 of the carbide lamps that had been blown out by the explosion, giving them adequate light to continue their exit. But much of their equipment had been left behind at the slump pit. At packs, the camera, samples they had collected, various pieces of gear that had been set aside when they were preparing to collect water samples.
Mike.
Nobody wanted to go back to retrieve the abandoned
What it
equipment.
do?
The slump pit was still burning, filling that section of passage with flames and heat, and none of them had any desire to return to that inferno. They made the decision to abandon the gear and focus on getting out of the cave safely. The group began their exit, retracing the route they had taken into the cave. They climbed back up the 40-foot J2 dome, navigated 2,000 feet of passage back toward the O24 area, and eventually reached the bottom of the 85-foot entrance pit. They rigged their rope and ascended one by one back to the surface, emerging from the WAR entrance at approximately 4:30 p.m.
Love when you stream. Wow, I can really feel your passion on the game.
Entered the cave that morning.
You got to beat
Once
them.
on the surface, they examined their injuries.
You're banned.
Duke Hopper had burns on
You're
his
trolling
face
me.
where the intense heat had affected his exposed skin. Tom Allers discovered that the hair on his right hand had been burned off, and the pain was intense. Both men had been wearing cotton coveralls that had become damp during their time in the cave, and this dampness had actually protected
so far away to sell
to some
shit.
degree.
Unfortunate.
Cotton, especially when damp, is relatively less flammable than synthetic materials, and this probably saved them from more serious burns. The question that haunted all of them as they examined what had happened was, what had exploded? Tom Allers began
you don't get those
researching
mounts
possible
or pets by
explanations
not
for
playing, bro.
fireball and
Bonus.
subsequent passage fire.
True, but I'm playing Classic. I don't have anything on Classic. I'm a fresh account on Classic. Okay?
The previous weekend, the area had received 3 to 4 inches of rain, a significant amount that would have raised water levels throughout the connected cave systems. If Hidden River Cave's contaminated water contained dissolved gases or vapors from the pollution that plagued that system, those gases could have been forced through underground connections into Hicks Cave, accumulating in the low-lying slump pit, where there was insufficient air circulation to disperse.
I'm hearing about a new discovery.
Another possibility was that one of the natural gas or oil wells in the area was leaking. Kentucky has numerous oil and gas wells, and if one near the cave had developed a leak, methane or other petroleum gases could have migrated through the bedrock into the cave passages, particularly accumulating in areas like the J247 slump pit, where there was minimal air movement. What made this incident particularly alarming was the complete lack of warning before
the reawakening of WoW Classic.
In June, when Phil Odell had descended into
super funny. WoW Classic's about to go.
Lamp had shown clear signs of bad air.
It's gonna be the next expansion.
And extended abnormally. But in October, when
try to do it and beat it before it comes out,
the flame appeared normal right up
until
the
get
moment the
a decent level before the pre-patch comes out in January.
Unusual smell.
I don't think I'll be 60 by the end
no
of
visual
December.
Warning from the lamp flame. No other indication
play other games,
that explosive gases were present in high enough concentrations to ignite. The four were also extraordinarily lucky that neither Allers nor Hopper had breathed any of the burning vapors during their escape.
I love that about you.
The fact that they had stayed low,
my number one supporter,
their faces near the floor, where the air was cooler and less contaminated with combustion products, had probably saved their lives. As Tom Allers noted in his accident report,
grind on
good luck
these
is sometimes
dead
the most beneficial factor of all. The 4 spelunkers had been fortunate in numerous ways.
I just gotta find.
They weren't in the pit when the gases ignited.
60 or 60 these crab meats.
They stayed low beneath the flames, where air was.
Now I'm about to grind for like another 30 minutes.
You
fucking bitch.
And nobody sustained injuries serious enough to impair their ability to escape.
At West Coast University, Texas, our nursing programs are accelerated, designed to help you make a difference sooner. WCU Texas, focused, with the support you need to keep going. Learn more at westcoastuniversity.edu.
That's funny. It's Skada, dude. How old are you, bro? That's like a boomer saying, dude. I'm like freaking. It's like I'm like literally, bro. I'm so much. Well, we gotta pick a new. My avocado. What the hell?
In April of 2019,
you don't want to know.
Climber Austin Howell posted this
jaw-dropping
photo on Instagram. There he is, dangling off the edge of a massive cliff, one arm gripping the rock without any ropes, without any harnesses, literally nothing but the raw defiance of gravity. In the conclusion to the photo's
Gravity!
caption, Austin wrote, quote, "I'm not going to die climbing. I'd be far too pissed off if my epitaph read, 'We told you so.'" This part of his caption would not age well at all. Austin Howell was not your typical climber. He faced sheer cliffs, exposed faces, and dizzying heights without a single rope or harness to break his fall. One wrong move, one loose rock, one unexpected gust of wind, and it would all be over in the blink of an eye. And for Austin, this wasn't really about thrill seeking. It was actually about something far deeper and far darker. With each ascent that he made, he took risks that most of us can't even comprehend. And for many people, this was simply viewed as reckless. But for Austin, risking his life on free solo climbs was actually part of the process of saving his life. And yet, at the same time, the very thing that seemed to save his life would eventually lead him to an inevitable heart-stopping end shortly after this very photo was taken. But with that said, Austin Howell's story is far more than just a tragic finale. His life was a constant battle as he sought to liberate himself from the very demons that would end up indirectly claiming his life. And so without
fighting
further ado, folks, this is the
Oh, God.
powerful and haunting story of a man who dared everything and ultimately lost it all. This is the story of Austin Howell.
Now this is a story all about how my
Now,
life
folks,
got turned
I am
right
not a
upside
climber.
down.
I'm not even close. But I don't think you have to be a climber to appreciate the skills and, quite honestly, the guts of those who free solo climb. If you're not sure what that means, free soloing is a form of rock climbing.
Oh, is it Polly?
where the
Yeah,
climber
no, dude, fatty,
ascends
bro.
without any ropes, without any harnesses or any protective equipment. AKA, if you mess up or you slip,
You're
and
done.
fall, then you die. Many of you are probably
Yeah,
familiar
literally.
with Alex Honnold, who is widely regarded as one of the greatest climbers and free soloists of all time. Hell, you may have even seen the film Free Solo, which captures Honnold's relentless journey to become the first person to free solo climb the towering El Capitan in Yosemite National Park. This film is super popular. I watched it many years ago, and a little bit of a spoiler, Honnold survived that climb against unimaginable odds, by the way. But the brutal truth is that many other extremely skilled free soloists like Honnold who dared to chase similar heights, well, they have not been so lucky. I now need to introduce you to a beloved man named Austin Howell, a man who was not nearly as famous as Alex Honnold, and yet a man who still carved out a place for himself in Honnold's elite league of climbing skill. So with that said, hit the subscribe button right now and help us reach our goal of 1 million subscribers, especially if you're a repeat viewer. And yeah, let's meet
I don't ever
Austin.
fucking
Austin
subscribe.
Howell
I'm
grew
just
up
kidding.
in the Houston, Texas suburbs, and though I wasn't able to find very much information about his childhood, we do know
Why?
one surprising thing for sure. Despite what he would later on become known for, Austin didn't grow up climbing. Sure, like most young boys, myself included, he did like climb around on trees and stuff when he was young, but it wasn't until he enrolled at the University of Houston that Austin finally found himself on a climbing wall for the first time. In 2006, Austin Howell entered his freshman year and he was studying electrical engineering, a major which is definitely no joke, very difficult. And yet despite this, it wasn't his lectures on math or physics that truly captivated his attention. Instead, it was the university's climbing gym. Austin Howell was hooked from the very first moment he grabbed a hold of that wall. This very first time, he apparently made it up about 15 feet, but then he found himself stuck, just kind of unsure of what to do next. I've only been to a climbing gym like 2 or 3 times, and I found myself in this very same situation every single time I went. And when this happened to me, I would get frustrated and flustered and just like confused about what my next move should be. But when Austin found himself in that situation, that wasn't what he did. He wasn't intimidated or frustrated. This challenging moment seemingly unlocked something within him. This wasn't just a wall that he was climbing. It was a puzzle that he needed to solve, and, well, he was very determined to make that happen. Folks, solve it he did. Austin became a regular at that climbing gym, returning over and over and over until eventually he earned his place among the university's top climbers. But then, just 2 years later, in 2008, an unexpected tragedy would strike in Austin's world. Austin Howell would end up facing a setback that was so severe that it threatened not only his climbing career, but his very life as he knew it. And with that said, folks, the next series of events is going to be quite unsettling, to say the least. And so before we get there, I want to just lighten things up for a moment and tell you about Blokes. I even changed shirts for this. I told you we're really going to lighten things up. Folks, Blokes Wellness is the sponsor of this video. Now, one thing that I've climbing gym, and he was nearly 35 feet up on the wall on what was supposed to be just a routine climb. And so he's up there and everything's going fine, and then all of a sudden, you know, this happens sometimes, he lost his grip. And for most climbers, a fall from that heights is hardly cause for fear. I mean, it's scary, but you know, you have safety ropes and you have a belayer standing by ready to catch you as you fall. But this time, unfortunately, was very different. Still years away from the moment that Austin would begin free soloing, he now faced a moment that would be just as perilous. His belayer, distracted and inattentive, wasn't paying attention when Austin slipped. It was basically as if Austin had been free soloing all along. He plummeted 35 feet, crashing back first into the ground with brutal, violent force. The impact shattered 3 of his vertebrae, fractured multiple bones in both of his feet, and it caused just devastating trauma to Austin's brain. After this accident, he would spend 4 agonizing months in a back brace. But honestly, that was just the beginning. The journey to heal
Give me another one. Now that you've dropped, you can drop more.
An injury that some people close to him say
look at that.
he
Drop something
never fully recovered from. According to his father,
Delete that.
Austin Howell's mental health took a dark turn after this accident. Temporarily losing climbing, you know, his life passion, was only part of the story. The real pain was the toll that the injury took on his brain. In a haunting revelation, Austin himself actually disputed this, saying that depression and thoughts of suicide had been haunting him from a very young age. Climbing, he would later say, was the only thing that seemed to quiet those relentless demons. In the very same Instagram post that I shared at the start of this video, Austin wrote, quote, "The most terrifying moment I've ever had wasn't while soloing. It was a long time ago on top
like
of
7,000 experience
while my mind
before I go back.
fought to destroy me, as it had been
I
doing
love this
since
game.
my earliest memories. Life is an inherently dangerous sport, and mine a bit more than others. If it wasn't for soloing, I might have been dead already." It seemed that rock climbing was Austin's only true escape, a battle against inner turmoil as much as it was against nature itself. But that thrill, that rush that comes with strapping in, or whatever climbers call it, and heading up the wall, well, eventually it just wasn't enough. As Austin's passion for climbing grew stronger and his skills grew sharper, he quickly developed a dangerous love for not just climbing, but for free soloing. Austin would defy the odds and go on to recover from his first brutal fall. And of course, he quickly returned to climbing, albeit against the wishes of his family. It was during his comeback from this fall that he found himself on his very first free solo climb, a risky endeavor that ironically wasn't really supposed to be part of the plan that day. Austin found himself climbing at Enchanted Rock in the hill country of Texas, and after easily tackling a route called Texas Crude, Austin made an impulsive decision. Without a second thought, he handed his friend a camera, saying that he was about to attempt the route again, but this time without any ropes, without a harness, and without pretty much any safety equipment other than his shoes. It would be just Austin
Ollie is a bad pocket right now.
The rock
That's not her fucking name.
Now, he swore to his friend
her name
in
is
this moment that this would be a one-time thing, a thrill that he would never chase again. But, predictably, that promise was broken almost immediately. Austin's first free solo climb went flawlessly, which sparked an unquenchable thirst for more. And so the very next weekend,
I mean, not like she's innocent.
Well, Austin was back.
She's definitely ran up on all of them before as well.
Even further. And it wasn't long after this that Austin just straight up dropped out of the University of Houston and stepped fully into the lifestyle of a classic dirtbag, which is like a badge of honor for those who live simply traveling around in vans or trucks, chasing adventure after adventure across rugged landscapes. That's what I mean by dirtbag. I don't mean that as an insult. Austin was basically all in. He was embracing a life on the edge, one climb away from the freedom that he was searching for, but also potentially just one climb away from death. As Austin's climbing abilities grew, so did his resilience against the lifelong battles with depression and the mental health struggles that had shadowed him for so long. And yet, as his strength and his skills soared, so too did the risks that he was willing to take on the wall. And it almost pains me to say that, especially after pouring through his social media accounts in preparation for this video. Austin began sharing his free solo climbs for the internet to see, and his opinion was unapologetically clear. Free soloing wasn't just a thrill, it was a lifeline. To him, the mental peace that it provided was too often overshadowed by the dangers that other people saw in the sport, which was a judgment that he pushed back against with conviction. In one post, he wrote, quote, "Free soloing isn't a death wish, it's a life wish. It's the single best therapy I've ever found for calming my tumultuous mind. The control that I've developed on the wall transfers into my daily life. This is important because I'm not the guy who beat depression. I don't get to be that guy. I've got to manage this for my entire life. I'm not soloing for the other reason that many will toss either. A narcissistic craving for attention isn't driving this show because I don't get a bump off of praise like most people. Instead, it feels foul and false because my mind tells me it knows better.
Oh yeah, whatever you're done with yours.
It's easy to view these videos of Austin Howell free soloing and just assume that he's this more crab meat dude making bad choices and putting himself at unnecessary risk. And yet, it's important to note that Austin took his safety as seriously as anyone who free solos possibly can. I really want to make that clear. I don't want to give the impression that he was just this reckless nut job. Austin trained intensely. He was always working to improve his strength. He would never set out on a free solo climb just blindly, right? He would research the route extensively beforehand, and he would also climb the route while attached via a harness before he ever soloed it, just to make sure that it was within his abilities. It was dangerous, obviously. Austin never shied away from that, but at the same time, if anyone had the skills, the training, and the mindset to do it, well, it was Austin. In 2015, a video of Austin Howell free soloing a route called Dopey Duck on North Carolina's Short Off Mountain went viral on the internet. This video captured him hundreds of feet above the ground without a shred of clothing on, completely butt naked, clinging to the rock face. The scene is equal parts hilarious and also heart-stopping, a moment that reveals both Austin's audacious climbing skills and his, we'll call it, mischievous spirit. In that famous video, Austin is truly in his element. But as fate would have it, we're actually going to be returning to this very same mountain and even the same route later in the video. And when we do this, it will be under circumstances that are just about the furthest possible thing from a laughing matter. Only about a month after Austin's infamous naked climb went viral, he set his sights on one of the most iconic challenges in climbing. That would be El Capitan in Yosemite National Park. The plan that day remains a bit unclear to me. I'm not sure if they were planning on free soloing or if they were just planning on normal climbing, but again, I don't know the correct terminology there, but regardless, apparently the conditions were pretty bad that day, and so Austin actually found himself aid climbing, like using some additional equipment and ladders rather than just normal free climbing. All that to say is that he was roped in. He had safety gear, even more gear than you would typically have, even if you were roped in. And this climb should have just been pretty routine, but unfortunately,
this is it right here.
It most certainly
I'll salt the farm a little bit more, but
ultimately, Austin's climb that day would end in just straight up disaster. While climbing the legendary route known as the Nose, a piece of Austin's aid gear suddenly slipped. In an instant, Austin plummeted headfirst, crashing nearly 20 feet down the rock face with devastating results. This was the second major fall of his career, the first major fall since he had started free soloing. Though he obviously wasn't on this particular day. And actually, that's a bit ironic that both of his really bad falls up to this point had happened while he was roped in and not free soloing. The impact of this fall was absolutely brutal, just like the first one. Austin suffered a broken skull, 5 broken vertebrae this time, a fractured shoulder blade, a broken wrist, and severe damage to his left eardrum, which left him permanently deaf in that ear. He spent over a week in a medically induced coma before he was finally released from the hospital. Though Austin miraculously survived this horrific accident, its implications on his ability to climb were very, very grim. Doctors told Austin that he would be lucky if he was even able to walk unaided ever again, let alone get back to climbing. This injury to his ear was a really, really big deal, far beyond just his ability to hear. I mean, it would affect his balance greatly. And because his balance was now compromised, the idea of steadying himself on a rock wall basically seemed impossible. In his doctor's eyes, Austin's climbing career was over. But, unsurprisingly, Austin refused to give up. Despite his family's deep concerns after this second just brutal fall, he returned to the climbing gym, determined as ever to defy every single obstacle that would be thrown his way. Step by grueling step, Austin rebuilt his strength, pushing himself to master these balance issues that had threatened to keep him grounded forever. His skill and honestly his sheer willpower would end up prevailing, and it didn't take long before Austin was back in the wild, not even in the gym, back in the wild, free soloing once again, tackling climbs without ropes, and this time he was stronger and, quite frankly, fiercer than he ever had been before. And yet, despite making another tremendous physical comeback, Austin's mental health continued to suffer.
Where are we at right now?
He wrote about this
11.
pretty extensively on his
need about
Instagram,
5
his
Gs.
Facebook, and his blog, his website. He actually even started a podcast, hoping that his story would inspire others who were struggling with depression, and of course, hoping that by being so candid about his free soloing journey, he would actually help vindicate the practice in the eyes of the public. And actually, on that note of public opinion, I'm willing to bet that there's going to be a lot of different opinions about free soloing in the comment section of this video. I have a slight hunch that those who are opposed to it might be the loudest, though I definitely could be wrong about that. I guess we'll find out. But regardless, free soloing is obviously quite controversial, and something that's probably even more controversial is posting about it, like posting videos of yourself doing it on social media. There's definitely people out there that thought that Austin thrived off of the attention that his videos got, and these people also felt that he was acting irresponsibly by promoting such a dangerous thing on the internet. But with that said, you can't forget that Austin himself actually refuted this idea in one of the quotes from him that I shared earlier. The truth is that we're never gonna know exactly how much of a role the views and the likes and the clicks played in Austin's free solo journey. I did read reports that a few times he would like free solo something, get back to his camera, and then realize that the video didn't record for whatever reason, and then he would set the camera up and then go do it again just so he could get it on camera. Now, that was just like some Reddit speculation, so I don't know if that's 100% true. I can't confirm that, but if it is, then it does suggest that sharing his climbs with the world was definitely a motivating factor for Austin. And yet, at the same time, I think it's pretty undeniable that free soloing just got Austin Howell stoked on life. And so, make no mistake about it, I'm not trying to suggest that the only reason he did it was for internet clout or anything ridiculous like that. That's definitely not true. This dude was just badass, and he loved to free solo. And I'm just trying to illustrate here that free soloing remains somewhat controversial to the general public.
Sorry, we had to go AFK for a little bit. Had to get a good stretch. Honestly, I feel so much better. Definitely need to do it again before I go night-night.
Public, and in my opinion, it seems that Austin Howell's content was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place when it came to this. No pun intended. On one hand, Austin was extremely skilled, and he also advocated for free soloing in the safest possible manner. Though obviously it's going to be dangerous no matter how you do it, but still. Austin very clearly acknowledged the risks of what he was doing. I mean, how couldn't you after all of the injuries that he had suffered? And he also, once again, used his platform to help and to connect with other people suffering from depression. Austin Howell, from everything I've been able to gather going back through posts and threads and all this stuff, it seems as though Austin Howell was absolutely beloved within the climbing community. He had a great reputation, and everyone who climbed with him or like met him out in the wild, and honestly most of the people that watched his content for that matter, respected the hell out of his skills and his attitude. And yet, no matter how inspirational Austin was, there was always going to be people out there who disapproved of what he was doing. But these people were not going to stop him. Hell, even his own family couldn't stop him. Austin was so passionate about free soloing that he apparently refused to speak with his mother for over a year after his second accident, simply because she wasn't supportive of his free soloing. And so with all that said, it appears that the only thing that would be able to stop Austin Howell from free soloing was the very act of free soloing itself.
Finally turning in all these quests.
On June 30th, 2019, Austin went back to Shortoff Mountain in North Carolina, which again is the very same mountain that he had gone viral on for his naked climb years earlier. From what I've gathered, Austin had climbed at Shortoff Mountain numerous times. This was an area that he was very familiar with, an area he was comfortable in, and an area that he had always returned from unharmed. But on this fateful day in June, that would unfortunately not be the case. Austin was not alone at the beginning of his climb that day. He was actually accompanied by a photographer named Ben Wu. Ben would climb beside Austin, and he snapped a bunch of photos of Austin that are guaranteed to leave your palms absolutely just dripping with sweat. These photos show Austin in his natural habitat. Once again, just in his element. He's wearing his classic tie-dye t-shirt. He's climbing up a steep wall hundreds of feet above the ground with no ropes and no harness. He looks happy. He's goofing around, and yet at the same time, you can tell that he's incredibly focused. He even stops to flip off the camera a few times, which is honestly pretty funny, and it's also pretty badass if you ask me. In fact, this photo right here is probably one of the most badass photos that I've ever seen. Austin is just hanging there by one arm. He's flipping off the camera. I mean, his shoelaces look like they're not even tied. I'm not sure what that's about. And of course, he's just got a giant smile on his face. In Austin's Instagram bio, he has a quote from Alex Lowe, which reads, "The best climber on earth is the one having the most fun." And if there's any truth at all in that quote, based on this series of photos, Austin Howell was the best climber on earth that day. However, the story behind these photographs gets incredibly dark when you learn what happened next. As fate would have it, the photos that you just saw, well, they would end up being the last photos of Austin Howell. So after taking all these pictures, photographer Ben Wu left the mountain, but Austin continued and just started climbing by himself. Sometime later, two other climbers were preparing to climb Dopey when they spotted Austin free soloing.
I'm trying to be a candle guy, you know.
Route. I mean, he was almost up it. He was almost done. One of these climbers even recognized Austin from his Instagram. He recognized his classic tie-dye shirt. As these climbers watched in awe, Austin made a shift to the side. But then, in a heart-stopping instant, he slipped, and he screamed out the word "no." This scream tore through the air before a haunting silence fell over the cliff. The onlookers could only stand frozen as Austin disappeared from view, his body plummeting down to the ground below. This was Austin's third major climbing accident, and tragically, it would be his last. After watching Austin fall, these two climbers descended down to him, and by the time they reached him, there was nothing that they could do. They tried to do some CPR, they did what they could, but Austin's life was over.
Yeah.
The truest example of a man who died doing what he loved. When the news of Austin's death reached the headlines, there was
I hear these
an
free
incredible outpouring of
free
grief
solo
and
deaths,
love
bro. It's
directed
crazy.
towards him. Again, I scrolled through
Genuinely insane.
all of his social media in preparation.
And they're all the same, you know.
for
It's
this
just
video,
like
and
one misstep, dead. You know, I'm like, damn, bro. Like this guy, supposedly this guy's last words when he died was, he screamed out, "No!" I'm like, damn. Couldn't imagine. Yeah. Oh shit! Pussy money weed. What's this guy talking about? AI? Ooh, girl. Loving everything you do.
And I noticed that even 5 years after that last fall, there's still people leaving comments on his content, memorializing him and paying their respects to him to this day. And regardless of what you think about free soloing, I'd like to encourage you to take this opportunity to echo those very same sentiments in the comment section of this video right now. I also want to encourage you to drop the names or links of any mental health charities that you trust.
18 small eggs now.
Depression was obviously a huge part of Austin's story, and it would mean the world to me if we could all come together here with positivity and just make the comment section that. I should just leave it there. I want to hear your...
Marshall's buyers travel far and wide to hustle the best deals on amazing holiday gifts, so you don't have to. We get the deals. You gift the good stuff.
Say hello to the Tofiachu iceberg.
And ask him if I had a rose toy. Do you know how messed up that is? I can't even see my dad.
Sophia put peanut butter on her crotch. To her, she would lick it.
He comes and goes. I don't think he's staying there full time. He got called out for checking on a little girl, and he hasn't been around.
Okay, Joey.
I love you.
Oh.
Did I just say that?
Davey,
Just
relax. It's okay.
slipped out. I'm sorry.
I love you too.
What?
Yes. Really?
I know my teeth. My teeth.
Chat, she
are gonna
hates me.
grow
My
back.
girlfriend
I'm
hates me so
58
much.
years old, and
Hates
I
me.
am teething right now. I am teething like a baby.
Oh my God, my mom, he took the car. He stole the car and he got out. I said, get out, and I didn't think my mom. Oh my God.
Tier 1 Tofiachu. Tofia Janice Slidell is a TikToker who goes by the name of Tofia Chu. She's known for many things, including her poor hygiene, racism, scamming, countless controversies, and large size. Asian obsession. Tofia is absolutely obsessed with Asian men, as well as Asian culture. She posts tons of K-pop content, wasted money on BTS tickets while she couldn't afford rent, was caught watching explicit content involving Asians, and has duetted many Asian TikTokers in inappropriate and romantic contexts. This was actually one of the ways Tofia went viral.
I cannot believe this bitch
initially.
just
However,
resisted
we'll cover
me!
that later. In essence, Tofia is obsessed with Asians,
no.
particularly Koreans, and this obsession will manifest in many ways during the rest of this iceberg. The Chu naming system. This refers to the phenomenon in the Tofia-verse where every notable thing has a Chu at the end of their name. For example, her family, Mama Chu, Papa Chu, Brother Chu, etc. In fact, it's gotten specific enough to name the roaches in their apartment and their apartment as well, Roach Chu and Apartment Chu. TikTok Live. Tofia is extremely infamous for her TikTok lives. She live streamed almost every day before the incident, and even after it occurred, she's slowly gotten back to live streaming consistently. Almost every single significant moment of her life, as we know, occurred on livestream, which admittedly sounds pretty dystopian. During Tofia's quote-unquote peak, she was live streaming for nearly 12 hours a day, and because of that, like I mentioned, so many events have been captured for the public to see. Racism. Tofia has been shown to be extremely racist, mainly towards her own people since she's apparently half black. Tofia has said things like, quote, "I don't identify as a burnt skin color," which is very hypocritical to say since not only is her dad black, but she in turn is half black as well. She's also said extremely racist things towards white people, saying white people should be gassed, among other insensitive comments. All in all, she's a very racist person. Xenophobia. If you don't know what xenophobia is, it's defined as a, quote, dislike of or prejudice against people from other countries. Tofia has mostly shown this type of prejudice to Mexicans. Tofia has said very problematic things to and about them, such as telling them that Trump will send them back to their own country, calling them illegals, the B slur, etc., etc. Transphobia. Tofia is often criticized for being transphobic. For example, she almost said the T slur while referring to transgenders, has apparently dead-named multiple people, purposefully used pronouns that certain individuals don't identify with, and things of that nature. Apartment Chu. Apartment Chu refers to the Slidells, which is the Chu family's apartment, or should I say their old apartment. It was where the classic era of Tofia's online career occurred. Hundreds of hours of live streaming took place, as well as countless TikTok videos. Unfortunately, the Slidell family was evicted for not paying rent. However, there may be another reason as to why they were kicked out, which I will cover near the end. Large size. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Tofia is objectively a very large individual. This could be blamed on her addiction to binge eating as well as fast food and snacks. For example, when Tofia was at her homeless shelter, she was crying because she didn't like the sandwiches they served for meals, and said she instead craved a Whataburger patty melt meal. I did a little research and found out that a medium-sized patty melt meal from Whataburger, with a Mountain Dew, of course, Tofia's favorite, would contain around a total of 1,760 calories, which is ideally the amount of calories Tofia should be eating in a single day to lose weight. However, Tofia eats that amount regularly in one sitting. She actually regularly eats a lot of fast food.
Damn, I should have saved
candy,
all my small
snacks,
eggs.
sugary sodas like Mountain Dew, and she
Feels
drinks Mountain
bad,
Dew to the
man.
point of it having a separate section on this iceberg.
I
She
would
just
have to
loves it that
farm
much.
some.
But yeah, in essence, Tofia is a very large individual
hear
because
chomping
she
wet
binge
chips?
eats and she's addicted to fast food
Oh, can
and
you?
very high calorie snacks. Papa
The
Chu.
fuck?
Papa Chu, real name Donald Fitzgerald.
Why didn't you tell me
Sr.,
before? No.
Who also goes by Ezekiah Mordecai Fusario and Martrania Satorium, is Tofia Chu's father, However, it is unknown whether he's her biological father or not. There is a lot of information on Papachu. I myself have an over 20-minute video on him that still needs to be updated, but in summary, Papachu is an extremely mentally ill individual. He and his family were surviving off of his veteran disability checks from the government. Papachu also has some online presence himself. Back in Tofia's golden era, he would live stream on TikTok, frequently flirting with the female fans in the comments, licking and kissing the screen, which usually resulted in his wife, Mamachu, busting in and yelling at him. Papachu is also extremely manic. He would make crosses all over apartment Chu made out of green tape. He alleged that these crosses would repel demons, police officers, and white people. Unfortunately for him, that didn't really work out, since the police were called on him numerous times, even by his own family. The same family that would eventually abandon him. Papachu also has a very lengthy criminal history, to the point where I'm not sure how he's allowed to be in public. He would bounce around between homeless shelters and jail since he was kicked out. At one point, when the police picked him up, he allegedly had red blisters all over his feet, and he'd been wearing the same clothes since they arrested him last literal months before. A lot of this can be attributed to Tofia, unsurprisingly, who admitted to lowering her father's dosage for his bipolar medication. No, I'm not joking, but I wish that I was. Tofia admitted that she lowered the dosage for her father's medication because she felt that he was being given too much. It's also important to mention that Papachu is a predator. He would make videos documenting manifestos years before Tofia was a popular figure, where he would rant about things like the age of consent and the age that girls should be allowed to make a specific kind of content. Inappropriate stuff like that.
Please drop some more eggs. I just need.
The last time Papachu would be with his family. Last I checked,
13
he's
more.
incarcerated but receiving treatment.
13
Papachu
fucking more
gets
eggs,
the help
man.
he needs in whatever way he can. Mamachu. Mamachu, as the name suggests, is Tofia's biological mother. While she's not as bad as the rest of the Slidells, she definitely
Excuse
has
me,
her
wow.
own criticisms. For example, she's known as Tofia's biggest enabler. Mamachu never forced her to get a job. She pretty much let Tofia do whatever she wanted, and she's a part of why the family, or what's left of it, is in this mess. Mamachu also has a lot of notable health issues, even more now because of the injury she sustained from the incident. She has some kind of cough, maybe smoker's lung, asthma, or something more serious. We'll never know, since she's never received genuine health care until the incident, but more on that later in the iceberg. In essence, she's a big enabler for Tofia. She does live stream herself on an app called Station Head, which is a voice-only live streaming platform, and a lot of notable things have come from that as well. For example, her saying, or I guess her repeating a comment that said Tofia puts peanut butter somewhere and lets Hershey the dog lick it, which was pretty funny to see, but that's all we have for Mamachu. Brother Chu. Brother Chu is Tofia's late younger brother. He was mostly in the shadows and was the least exposed Chu family member. There are a host of allegations against him, including predator accusations, showing an apparent text conversation between him and a minor on Snapchat, who he named Miss Hershey for some reason, and his neighbors saying he was called out for acting creepy around minors. Brother Chu passed in March of 2025 after the family was carjacked in a church parking lot. His ashes are currently sitting and waiting to be picked up. However, Tofia and her mother have both neglected to do so. He does have an ex-girlfriend named Angie, who we will cover later in the iceberg, who has accused him of a lot of things, including putting his hands on her. But apparently, there are charges against
And they're
her
gone.
for
Well,
her
2 viewers is
family
basically me and you.
Brother Chu. All in all, it's a very
Yeah.
complicated situation
Counts
that
you
I
as the
will
viewer.
cover more in depth later. Mickey Chu. Mickey Chu is a painting made by Tofia. She hung it up in Apartment Chu. It's a crudely drawn Mickey Mouse, however, it was a classic in her golden era. The famous painting seemed to have disappeared when the Chu family got evicted. As of now, there are no known whereabouts, but if it pops up on eBay somewhere, you better believe I'm buying it. Relentless slurs. Tofia has been shown to say countless slurs, mostly on live streams. While Tofia is now in her SJW era, she used to be a bit more bigoted back in the day, using a plethora of slurs, such as the R word, the B slur against Mexicans, the C slur against black people, the T slur against transgender people, and many, many more. Her mother is also known for saying slurs, funnily enough, particularly the N-word and the R-word. Aunt Karen. Aunt Karen is a problematic TikTok figure in her own right, who often goes on TikTok live portraying herself as some sort of judge figure, or I guess she used to do this. One day she had a live stream where Tofia was invited. This was in the midst of one of Tofia's biggest controversies at the time. I'll cover it later in the iceberg, but basically she promised refunds to people who sent her Cash App money but never delivered on the promise. Aunt Karen criticized Tofia for this, which caused a full-blown meltdown. She'd quickly go off the live stream and start up her own, where Tofia cried and bawled and complained like usual, while Mama Chu backed her up. Tier 2, the Brother Chu tragedy. I don't want to dwell on this too long. I'm sure you all know what happened, and it is a pretty sensitive topic. On March 11th, 2025, an armed man took the life of Brother Chu, injured Mama Chu, and stole the car, leaving Tofia behind. The perpetrator would later get into an altercation with a security guard and would lose his life as well. Tofia has used this incident to profit and exploit sympathy. Mafia boss's daughter. This refers to a series on TikTok Tofia did years ago where she role-played as the daughter of a mafia boss. This usually involved
so you can hear what I'm listening
to be with her while using finger weapons.
Small enough though, so it's not like well, that or they can't be like, you know,
it is legendary.
Oh, you're not talking or whatever the fuck. It's like farming views from the video or whatever the fuck.
Another TikTok lolcow.
So it's like super small. It's just gonna be like
a predator and not showering. He made a video calling out Tofia on her racism, which I admit is something Nova hasn't done that Tofia has.
Because honestly, sometimes, yeah, especially when I'm playing this,
between the two,
I don't listen to music.
Nova was the main aggressor, creating multiple videos making fun of and
calling
out Tofia, including the infamous mocktail, where Nova recreated Tofia's very intricate Baja Blast recipe that consists of a Mountain Dew and a Gatorade,
what about that?
Blue one to be specific, while making fun of her simultaneously.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Fat BH disease, aka type 3 diabetes. Alright, so we're gonna start off this mocktail with a little bit of disrespect towards Mama Chu and Brother Chu, a hint of racism and then saying it's not racist, a touch of framing on MG and I to cover up what she did, and a touch of this up here. Let's take a moment to admire that this looks exactly like swamp water. Alright, and there you have it, Tofia's potion that she has tried. Let's try it out. Cheers. I'm gonna record.
Does that sound better?
Tofia mainly responded through her live streams, where she made fun of Nova for being hypocritical and wearing diapers. The beef naturally ended when Tofia was evicted and
I just want you to know.
To this day, despite Tofia not
I sound rough.
For what seems like
yeah, my thing. No, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine trying to sing, bro?
Talent agency that contacted Tofia with interest to sign her. For some reason, she immediately assumed that an email to her equated to signing a legitimate contract and wasted no time bragging to her stream in an extremely cringy fashion.
Because the mic is good. It's too good. Like sometimes I'm like too far away from it, so I kind of have to have like in my face. I have it to where it's like I'm not trying to pick everything up. So, but it sounds good when it's close to me.
We are there. I worked hard for this. I worked hard. I'm gonna have a manager. I'm gonna have lawyers. The whole nines. So, any videos that I do not like, I could copyright strike them.
After this, Click's Talent immediately made a post clarifying that they have not signed Tofia and will not, and she does not align with their values. Corn from Asia. This is something that's very well known about Tofia. She was caught
saving on this electric bill.
Live stream with multiple tabs open from an adult website with the letter X as its logo, and one of the
I think it's too cold. We can turn on the heater.
Tofia denies the validity of that.
I was thinking overnight we can do at least 65,
obsession with Asian men
66 or something, so it's not too crazy.
Undeniable, and will still
Or now we can do 67.
$500,000 GoFundMe. After the failed GoFundMe started by Ryan Montoya, more on that later, Tofia created her own on October 5th, 2025, asking for $500,000 for burial costs, funeral costs, and housing. She also mentioned using the funds for a restaurant business in a live stream. As of me writing this, racked up a whopping $135 raised over the course of a month and a half.
Huh?
Miss Bellum. Miss Bellum
Focus.
is a cartoon character that
Focus.
dressed up as on Halloween
Focus.
of 2025. This
Focus.
was when she was either in a youth home or a shelter with a couple bucks to her name. She bought the costume, did her nails, and had her hair dyed, which is just another testament to how horrible her spending habits are. Roach Chew. Roach Chew is the name of apartment
14 out of 18.
cockroaches
Let's go.
Loved by the Tofia community. They were a common recurring character in Tofia's golden era and are deeply missed by fans to this day, including myself. Papa Chew's manic episodes. Papa Chew, due to his severe mental illnesses, including bipolar disorder, often had mental health episodes, a lot of which were caught on livestream. Tofia seems unfazed a majority of the time, however, there were instances where she seemed very uncomfortable, particularly when Papa Chew interacted to her or talked to her directly. Hershey. Hershey is Tofia's former chihuahua. There are a lot of stories
Just spoke the
about
rest of
her.
it. You're like,
For
bitch.
example, Tofia didn't exactly treat her the best. Instead of taking Hershey on walks,
Yeah, I was thinking about
the
playing some
family
Dredge.
put around pee pads and just let her do her business there. So she didn't exactly get a lot of exercise, and in turn was a bit chunky and loud. Also, it's rumored that Hershey knew how to pee in cups, and apparently, this is alleged, Tofia drank from one of these cups. Now, I don't know what's more absurd, the possibility of a chihuahua knowing how to pee in a cup by itself.
I got this drink in my cup. Yeah, I gotta make some gold.
One of those cups, but either
Gotta make
way,
some fucking gold. I gotta do a lot.
multiple addictions is unknown. Some speculate that Tofia dumped Hershey on the side of the road and left. However, that hasn't been confirmed. Tofia claims personally, I think Tofia dumped her, which is extremely unfortunate since that dog did not deserve to be treated the way she was. Angie. Angie is a prominent Chew figure, being the late brother Chew's ex. They had an awful relationship with both of them tearing their hands on each other. Angie was also known to go on live and reveal lots of secrets about the state of the family and their home. It's also alleged that Angie went to try and pick up Brother Chew's ashes, but Tofia declined. She's also a very problematic figure herself. She's done countless awful things, such as cheating, doxing, physical you-know-what, etc., etc. So she isn't exactly the whole victim in this situation. However, she was mistreated and she also mistreated. Tofia's Instagram. Instagram is Tofia's most prominent social media besides TikTok. She's known for posting tons of stories every day and angrily responding to hate messages on there. Unable to pay rent. This is a common occurrence for Tofia and her family. No matter where the Chews stayed, there were issues paying. This was the case for Apartment Chew and for their motel, and very likely other instances in their lives. And this is all their own fault. It's not like they don't make enough money, it's that they spend money on different things, such as BTS tickets, or going to Comic-Con, or Fortnite skins instead of paying rent. The Chew
Let's
The Chew-mobile
go.
was the Slido family
Let's
car that was the last
go.
time incident this March. The
Finally
Chews
getting
lived in
the
it for a
flip
while,
outta here.
which is pretty problematic, especially since an elderly woman, Mama Chew, was living in the car with them. There was even an incident where Tofia was live streaming and just vomited inside the car out of nowhere. It was extremely gross. Hypocrite. This refers to literally thousands of instances of Tofia being
So what else we got? Let's see. Look at that. Look at me right there. Streaming the making of burgers. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Hoarder house, ugly architecture, and even haunted properties will buy your house in cash, no matter what condition it's in. If you need...
Right? And I know right now you're not quite being 100% honest with me.
I mean, I've never done nothing with her.
You are going to be placed under arrest.
And this is going to be as of, or
It's going to be a sex offense with involving
as a minor, so I have to.
Oh, I see him. I see him. He's coming.
Oh, he's about to run. Oh, he's running. How's it going, Jameson? Why are we 41 and meeting a year-old girl quite the opposite age? I mean, this is borderline.
Those are your first aid and cooking while waiting for the Menifil Harbor.
You know what I mean? You were maybe trying to see if she had a cute button person.
That's dumb. And I agree. What's your name? I'm not shaking your hand. Sit down, please. I need you to interlace your fingers behind your back.
Well, I need mild spices. Like, what the?
What up, boys? It's your boy Skeet Hansen here, back at it again. Right now, we're in Lansing, just a few minutes away from good old Hawk Island Park, or as I like to call it, Hawk Tua Park, because this guy here, his name's Jameson. He's trying to come and get some Hawk Tua from a girl, unfortunately. And ironically enough, this is the park where we caught our boy, I think his name was
All right, let's
proposed to our decoy on one knee.
start creating some more.
So that was pretty crazy. So yeah, today should be a pretty eventful visit to the park. Now this guy, Jameson, he thinks he's talking to a year-old girl, and he also has a year-old daughter. Now the conversation started off, pretty slow. He was asking questions like how many people she had sex with. He says at one point, I believe how he worded it was, so you still got a pretty Virginia. Can't even type. And then she was like, huh? And then he was like, your little still pretty? LOL. He's doing that, like the half heart hand thing, and he's like, finish the heart, that sort of thing. And here he's wearing what looks to be his work shirt. I can't really tell what it says. So he's repping the work uniform, talking to year-old girls. He says, can I play with you? I'm gonna get up between your thighs and kiss all the way up. And then he says that she has a cute and he wants to kiss all over it. Would you enjoy me inside of you? You're lucky your mom's not around because I would give you some. Can I see your cute face, babe? Then he says, I just need to have sex really bad and don't know how much longer I can.
There it is.
So this guy, he's thirsting. I mean, it is a 91-degree day, as you can tell by the dash there. It is 91 right on the dash, so probably has a little bit to do with that. Yeah, you can't wait to be filled with big inside you. You're gonna feel me in your stomach. Oh my god, it just goes on and on and on. He says, I haven't released any. I have so much built up because I haven't played with myself and want to save it for when I actually have sex. So he's been banking up his for this year-old girl. Oh my god, if you take it in the butt, no condoms needed. You can't get pregnant. Hey, look, Jameson, I know you're white, but I gotta ask you a question. Really, nigga? I'm going to hit him with So here, he also says, you're gonna act different after having sex. He says, the girl says, how do you know? The girl, then he says, because parents always notice a change in energy, and that's the start of being a young woman wanting to experiment. So I imagine he knows this firsthand because he does have your old daughter, as I said before. So we got to see what's going on with that. I mean, there could be something weird going on. You never know. It's really a concern.
We are.
So we're arriving at
the youth of the nation. We are.
Oh, this guy's an idiot. If he runs, it's gonna be like, it's gonna take him so long to get out of here. Last time we came here was deserted, but that was like a Sunday. This is a Friday. Unity in the community.
How are you? Welcome to Unity in the community. How many are in your group? We got 3. 3? Yeah. Well, welcome to Unity in the community. Everything's free. Enjoy. Concerts, food, everything. Enjoy. Hey, thank you.
I didn't know.
Hey, be blessed, my friend.
I didn't know all that was going on today. Oh, well, we're in for a treat.
Do you want like right up, like here?
Yeah, that shot.
Yeah, see, if I zoom in all the way, that's.
And we got sheriffs.
This is if he should, dude. The boys are already here. If he shows up here, they're right there. I mean,
gigantic.
It's gonna be crazy. All you gotta do is go over there and signal him. And he said that he doesn't have a lot of time because he doesn't want to leave his daughter home alone too long. Leaving your own daughter home alone to come meet a year-old.
It is diabolical.
And he's planning to pick you up from here and bring you back there.
My house.
Oh, to go to your house?
Yeah.
So he's still gonna be leaving his daughter alone for.
He just needs to be.
Why doesn't he just bring his daughter with him? Just bring us, come hang
we're
out.
almost the same age.
Yeah,
He's like,
you guys should have a lot in common, right? But I'm thinking it'll be funny if you're just waiting up there at the top of the stairs. All right, so our guy is either here, or just a few minutes away from being here. We're gonna have our decoy go all the way up the stairs and sit in the bench there. She's marked up right now, and yeah, after a couple minutes, we're gonna go up there and see if we can talk to him.
I said I'm at the top of.
Let's go.
I said I'm at the top by the bench, and he said, "Are you?"
He said what?
He just said, "Are you?"
Oh, are you? Okay.
Hello.
Wait, so you guys gonna walk
You
up
got
the stairs?
anything for me?
Yeah, we're just gonna walk all the way up there.
Okay. Oh, I see him. I see him. He's coming.
Nothing. This guy never has anything.
Yeah, he's standing. I'll stand.
It's like, this is what he's doing. Oh, he's about to run. Oh, he's running. He's jogging. He probably, yeah, I think he does. Dude. Oh, he's in a rush. He can't wait for it.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
You can sit.
I can sit.
What are you doing?
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Where were you?
I parked over there at the dollar store.
At the dollar store? That's kind of far away.
It is.
Um,
I don't want to pay have to come anywhere.
Flat Iron
Yeah,
Forge,
it was
perfect.
free.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well,
Because it's like the. Like,
Thinking about doing either alchemy or tailor. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, and you can
I'm
go
not
to
too sure. I'll be right back.
There's like food trucks and stuff. That's why I thought it'd be like fun. Could like go do something.
you rode your bike all the way over here.
Yeah, it wasn't that far. It's like 10 minutes.
This is not at park.
What?
At the other park you were telling me.
Yeah, that one's like really close to my house, like right out my window. But this one's like 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
On the bike, which isn't bad.
You rode your bike all the way here. It's hot as hell.
Yeah, but like I said, like this is more fun than those parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more going on.
So what were you doing by the dock?
Oh, the dock's down there. I was walking that dock.
Oh, I was just confused what you were doing.
Yeah, I figured you knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, it's really nice today though.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. I'm glad you came to hang out.
Yeah. I'm just sitting there being impatient.
Is it okay with like my age and everything?
Huh?
I said, is it okay, like my age and everything? What? Yeah, I know. I just like want to make sure. I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
He doesn't even see us right now.
I same yard.
So he doesn't even see us right now.
Yeah. No, I don't go to like the bed or anything. I don't know. I haven't gone over there yet. I know there's like a bounce house, but I haven't tried it.
Look at this view. Beautiful view. Wow.
We can go like walk around if you want.
How's it going, Jameson? How are you? What's going on? What are we here for tonight?
I was just come up here to shop.
Shopping? Who are you shopping with?
Myself.
Yourself? Who was that you were just talking to?
I don't even know who that is.
You go into great detail about what a 69 is, Philip. You say it's where she's giving you oral sex and vice versa, you're giving her oral sex. Yeah, I see you're here in the clearance section. Seems to me like you were trying to get in her clearance rack.
I watch your guys' videos all the time, and here I am with you.
You watch my videos.
Yeah, I've seen guys at Walmart and don't even have a record even.
I'm seldom at a loss for words. The officers here are probably going to want to have a word with you. So it's a good thing you
hey, listen,
didn't choose
you
other.
guys are just having a conversation, so
Yeah.
he's gonna vouch for you, okay?
What's going on? What's up?
Oh, I'm fine.
What's going on?
What do you mean?
What are you doing here?
Yeah, now. All right, back.
With who?
We're back.
How'd you meet?
A dating site?
Turn that off. A dating site?
Yeah.
Okay. How old is?
She told me.
Told you.
Yeah.
Now, how old are you?
41.
41.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have a year-old daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. So, just help me understand here, Jameson. Why are we 41 and meeting a year-old girl, quite the opposite age?
Well,
So good.
first, because she told me she was 18.
So good.
First she told you.
Oh my god.
She told you 18.
Yep.
I don't think she told you that.
No, that's what her profile was.
Her profile.
Delish.
Was 18. Yeah, but
Period.
She told you the whole time.
Period.
A little bit into it.
Yeah, a little bit into it. She told you. And just help me understand, James.
That's my girl. That's my girlfriend.
Just talk to her. Okay. Would that be before or after you had sex with her, like you said you were going to do in the chat?
I mean, it kind of did get to that.
Well, kind of is an understatement, Jameson. It crossed the line.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And you know, Jameson, I have the transcripts here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're all here. I mean, you question if she's a virgin. You talk about how
I know
amazing sex will feel with her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Into a deep talk and stuff like that.
Pretty deep, yeah.
But beforehand, like I was trying to talk to her and stuff about it.
Okay.
And, you know.
So what were you trying to talk to her about before?
Before, I just told her that, you know, she shouldn't be doing it.
Okay.
And all that stuff.
Okay. What about you doing this? Should you be doing this?
Actually, I showed up because I actually wanted to talk to her about it.
About what
Everything
exactly?
else.
About everything else. So not
Yeah,
the sexual stuff.
Yeah, no.
So you don't want to talk about that?
No.
Okay. So why did we talk about it before we came to meet her?
I guess it kind of kept her hooked, I guess.
You wanted to keep her interested?
Yeah, but I did want to actually talk to her about it because...
But why does it have to be sex? Why does that have to interest her?
Because I guess that's kind of what kept her attention, to be honest. Sorry about that.
It's what?
It's kind of what kept her interest.
It seems like that's what.
Or whatever.
It seems like that's what kept your interest, Jameson.
No, like...
No, because you were the one bringing it up. She didn't really bring that up.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't. But
yeah.
It's...
So, I mean, when you say that you'll make her happy and you can lick it until it feels good, meaning her...
Oh, I know.
And you said her...
So, like,
well, I'm just making sure you remember. You say she has a cute butt, and then you propose the idea of having sex with her. And you say, would you enjoy me inside you?
Yeah.
So why are we saying these things?
It's just...
Because I just want you to understand, James, and you see how it looks to me like you're here to do...
Yeah, it does look bad. It does.
It looks like you're here to do these things with her.
No.
And I think the plan was to go back to her house after this, right?
No.
No? What was the plan then after meeting her?
I literally just wanted to sit and talk to her about it because...
You're face to face. Very anxious about it.
Somebody
you say, just wish I didn't have to wait that long with a mad emoji face.
Yeah.
And you talk about how you're in dire need for sex. You say, I just need to have sex really bad. I don't know how much longer I can go.
I know. I guess I just kind of talk about that stuff. Just
okay. Because has it just been a while, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
But with everything, like, to be honest, I don't think I would really go through it. It's just one of the things I just wanted to talk face to face with her about it.
But it just, you know, James, it just all looks hard to believe. You know, from what you say. You know.
It was kind of entertainment because this kind of
entertainment.
Like
so you realize this is a felony.
Yeah.
And that's entertainment for you.
No, well...
Saying, let me stick it in your sweetheart. Referencing your... Can I see your butt, babe? you look sexy in a little dress. And you talk about kissing her, and you think dresses are hot. And you ask her if she would swallow your blank.
I don't
Jameson.
know, it's totally wrong.
I mean,
it's
and you have a girl daughter. You have a girl daughter, right?
and
So
that's why because I see how I would talk to my daughter.
okay, how do you talk to your daughter? Is it like this?
Oh, no. If she,
But it's okay if it's someone else's daughter.
that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if my daughter was in this situation, I would want to sit down and have a talk with her. So that's what I was kind of trying to come do with her.
So what do you think about a 41-year-old man talking up your daughter like this? How would that make you feel?
I wouldn't be happy, but
You wouldn't be happy.
I gotta go
she
fast.
was already talking about how she was actually happy.
Faster, 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 fast.
Does that make it right for you to further solicit her like this?
Huh?
Does that make it right for you to further solicit her like this?
No, it don't.
Doesn't. Okay. And you say you're lucky I can't marry you. Then you talk about having to wait another 4 years to marry her. I just know your is going to be super tight to my big in there, but we will get it in, babe. Can't wait for you to be filled with my big inside of you. You're going to feel me in your stomach. And then you ask where you're going to have sex at. So do you see how, when you say something like that, it looks like you're really planning to do this with her?
It's like it's not.
But you're
It's kind of
saying
hard. Yes,
it was just that was just to keep her interested.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just, it was all talk.
Travel to these
James, talk is talk, and
motherfucking
showing up is showing up.
places.
Listen, you showed up.
I know.
You're here.
And I wouldn't apply it to
Spice, mild spice.
And what was the plan going to be when you came here today? Do you want to sit down?
Huh?
Do you want to sit down? Because we have a lot to go over.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
You're fine staying? Okay. I just want you to be comfortable. Okay, so tell me what the plan was.
It's just I really wanted to talk to her face to face about it.
About
Just
why
the situation
she's...
and why she would go for older guys and
Okay.
just like.
Okay. Okay. So what responses were you looking for?
And what?
In asking her those questions, why she was going for someone older, was there certain responses you were fishing for?
I just wanted to see why she would go for older guys.
Okay.
Like, just kind of see where her mindset was at.
Okay. And did she really know that? Did she really need to know that you have not released in 2 weeks and that your balls hurt really bad? That's what you said here.
No.
What was the thinking with telling her that?
It's just I like to flirt a lot, and
It's a little beyond flirting, Jameson. That's, I mean, this is borderline sexual harassment. I mean, this is not what we call W-Riz. You know what I mean? And this is just totally just desperation.
yeah, it is. And I just kind of fell into it.
You say it's hurting because you haven't released any. You need to have sex, and then you go on to say how you've been saving up your for the last few days or few weeks or so, specifically for her.
I know.
You said something along those lines.
I know.
So Jameson, all the arrows are pointing to
My
you being here to do these things in the chat log.
Let's see what new things I get. Hopefully something good. Make me broken? None of these sold.
Trying to find out why she's doing what she's doing.
Because I never did. I guess when she told me, I didn't understand.
Okay.
With why she would even think that way, and just.
Okay. Well, my question for you is, why are you thinking this way? Especially when you say if you take it in the with no condoms, they're not needed because you can't get pregnant. And then you say you want to see how
anyway.
the blowjobs are.
All right.
Like I said, it was just a lot of talk, to be honest.
You talk to everyone like this? Everyone you come across?
Well, like on Meet Me or whatever, it was like I always ran across to, like I got talked to them, and it was always like OF girls or
OF girls? Okay.
Or a lot of escorts and stuff.
Okay.
So I kind of got used talking like that.
That's just how you just okay.
So
You're just
it's
used to talking. You're just
yes.
used to talking freaky.
Well, with like the people I was running across with on that site.
Okay.
Because that's what they got into.
I don't want to listen to myself anymore.
So
Why do you listen?
Kind of veer off to her.
Okay.
To keep her interested.
But why is that the first thing you go
Not cool.
for when you find out that the girl's online that you're talking to?
It was probably a I'll say a couple days after.
Okay.
So it wasn't.
Okay, not right away, but either way.
No. So
Rather in the beginning. Right. Why was that why did you jump to that so soon? Within a few days of
My
conversation.
lord.
I guess it's easy to talk about, I guess.
It's easy to talk about.
Interest and just,
okay.
You know.
Why not talk about, I don't know, Love Island? Girls are interested in that. Right? I mean, girls watch Love Island. They love that.
Great.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Love Island is.
Oh, it's a reality show. So you got to get with the times. Stop thinking with the wrong head.
Yeah.
You know. You know, if you had something relevant to talk about with a female, other than like thirsty, freaky sex like you're talking about here, maybe you might have a shot at getting someone. You know, someone decent, maybe someone your age. But we just had to go for the sexual talk immediately. I mean,
it really was.
What would the mother of your child think of this?
She's not around.
She's not around? You have full custody of your daughter? Okay. How'd that happen?
She kind of abandoned her when she was 3-4 years old.
That's a shame.
Yep.
Okay.
So I've been doing it all by myself.
Okay.
Just working, you know.
Okay. What do you do for work?
I do construction cleanup.
Construction cleanup?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, being that you have a daughter, Jameson, of around the same age as the girl, I mean, that just makes it look even worse. I'm sure you can see that.
Yeah.
You know, and did you leave her at home alone to come and meet this girl?
No, my grandpa is right now.
There we go.
So.
Oh, so he's kind of keeping an eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my aunt and stuff.
Okay. I know you were stressing not being able to be out too late because you had to get back to her.
Yeah.
So I mean, you leave a year to come meet another, meet someone else. That's kind of, you see how that looks.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It looks pretty bad, right?
Yeah, it does.
You know. Yeah. Did you think about how that looks on the outside? Or were you just so clouded by your in your mind and your balls being filled up with and wanting to release them that you just didn't think about that? Was that maybe more in your mind?
No.
I mean, you talk about how it won't hurt and you'll take it easy. Would you be able to take it down your throat?
Should it be?
I mean, Jameson, I've read through the transcripts, and you left nothing to the imagination.
Yeah.
You never said, "Hey, I'm going to meet up with you to talk about why you're doing this."
Yeah.
It's all just sexually charged conversations. You know.
Yeah, I know.
I'm kind of happy you're giving me the opportunity to have something I never had, but scared at the same time. What was it that you never had?
I guess just growing up.
A year-old girl? Is that
what
you're going for?
No.
A virgin? Is that what you meant by that?
Yeah, I guess growing up, I just never had the opportunity.
Okay.
It's just.
You figured you seized the opportunity to reel in a virgin here?
No.
That's what it looks like.
No, it was just all talk. Like,
You even say if this ever leads
Alright,
to
talk to the
So, I mean,
going back to Lockmo, Dan.
Why do it today? Why take the risk? Talking about how you're getting thinking of her, that you want her.
No.
It's beyond stupid, Jameson. This is criminal. I mean, the fact that you walked past all these people and all these police officers here, the sheriff, to come and meet this girl. I mean, you didn't look at the sheriff down there.
Let me say, let me
and
fly,
say,
let me fly.
Maybe this is a sign. Maybe I should turn back.
well, because I didn't have the attention before, so
Okay. So you were just going to talk to her about what she's doing, then you were going to leave. Were you going to leave with her?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Just really hard for me to believe, Jameson. You know. How many other...
Nice. Wally.
This is the first one.
Yeah.
Wally.
You know how many times I've heard that?
Good girl.
That's the honest truth.
That's the honest truth. Okay.
That's the
Okay.
honest truth.
Okay.
Super deep.
Well, I'm gonna ask you something else, Jameson. Have you ever touched your daughter in any way?
Oh, no.
Anything pertaining to this going on with your daughter? Okay. Because you know that's going to have to be looked into now.
Yeah.
Because what you did.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just being that you have access to it at home 24/7, it's just a little hard to believe that nothing's going on because you're here to meet a year old girl here today. It's just all around just immoral, illegal, and not a good look. Even talk about making sure her friend won't fuck her.
I know it's fucking stupid.
I mean, you see, she's gonna act different after sex because parents notice a change in energy once their daughters start having sex. And then you say have you seen that? You say you've seen that in your own. So your daughter's having.
No.
What would you mean then?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
He said, because parents notice a change in energy, that's the start of being a young woman wanting to experience. Trust me, I've seen it with my. So
Put me in my fire. Oh shit.
Notice a change in your energy. That's the start of a young woman wanting to experiment.
Oh, just with her.
What do you mean?
Just with her growing up and going into pre. Just how, like, they change.
They change.
Yes.
So you know she's changing as she's going into her pre.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Because you seem
her
to
mindset,
you seem to tie that to how she would act after sex. So
Oh no.
I'm just trying to get it straight here.
I guess. I mean it.
Okay.
It's a weird thing to back your daughter into.
It is, yeah. To even categorize that with your own
I
daughter
guess it
is a
was
little
the wrong time and just the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, your daughter?
Yeah.
wrong time, wrong place.
She was born in one time.
Yeah.
It's not your arm, right?
Yeah.
So you do realize that you put your daughter at risk when you have it there, when you do things like this, right?
What do you mean?
What you mean is that you're advertising when your daughter was born with your name on your forearm, and then you go and do dumb like this, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty dumb.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Jameson.
I guess I never looked at it.
Yeah, you never looked at it that way, right?
You gotta think about those things. You know.
I mean.
Now I know who your daughter is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you call her a sneaky little thing and asked if she's experimented with her girlfriend.
Because I just really.
Talk about pleasure, making her satisfied.
I guess. Well, obviously, with you guys.
Yeah. Well, you know that now. Before you didn't know that.
Yeah. But how she was acting like she was hiding stuff from her mom and stuff.
Okay.
Like that. So
Okay.
it's just that's kind of where it came off.
And you were more so trying to find out why.
All right, nice investment.
Yeah. Because like even when I walked up.
Even when you said I wanted to let you know whether or not your head game is good, are you gonna let me rate it? Meaning her sex skills.
I guess that's
Yeah.
everything. That was
But you're telling me you didn't plan on actually doing that, and it's all talk.
just I was.
Okay.
There we go. Maybe I can cook here.
Well, Jameson, I mean, is there anything else you have to say here? Because it's just a lot. You say you want to take
Oh, no.
virginity
I
and
wanna
all
do
the
that.
sorts, and I pretty much been through everything, but
Hell no.
is that the story you're gonna stick to? You're just here to see where her head is at, and you weren't gonna do any of these things?
Well, yeah, because I wanted to talk to her about life and shit, like if it was my own daughter, like because I would want to have the same conversations with her if stuff like that happened. Or, you know, it's just one of the things, like coming and giving her kind of fatherly advice.
Yeah, fatherly. You were trying to be more of a father figure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this.
All right, Jameson. It's just a lot of sex talk for someone who's a father figure. It just doesn't look right to me.
I know it kind of.
Those two usually don't go hand in hand.
Yeah, I know. It's just internet's internet, and if she was gonna meet me, like if I was gonna have like that conversation, just kind of have that talk and just see how she, you know.
Okay, you were gonna see. Okay, what she would say. Okay. All right, Jameson. Well, hey, look, if that's all you had to say, what I had to let you know is that I'm Skeet Hansen with the Predatorial Investigation Unit. We're doing an online series about adults who try to meet up with online for sex.
Yeah.
And you've just been skeeted in 4K. So, if there's nothing else you had to say, I think we should just make our way downstairs and have a word with the sheriff down here about what's going on, because they've been asking questions about what's going on up here.
Yeah.
So, if you want.
That's why, like, even like when she came up, when I walked up, she had me sit down. I went and sat by her like I was standing here. Cause,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's not.
But due to the graphic nature of the conversation, it's just we gotta just let them know what's going on, because we've been pinged a couple times and they've asked us what's going on here. So at this time, where I think we should all just go down, head over to the state trooper over there, and let them know what's going on. All right. So you ready? All right.
We'll just head down and go have a conversation.
And I advise you not to run, Jameson. If you're thinking that.
You're
Okay.
free to be.
It just won't end well. So. Yeah. I'm just making sure if you were.
Can I ask, like, what's the outcome of it, though?
So it won't be us. It won't be up to us to decide the outcome. It'd be up to the police here when we have a word. How far do you live from here, Jameson? Like 10 minutes? Okay. Well, it's too inconvenient. Yeah, we're all the way from Detroit, so.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, a bit of a hike.
So you guys are all over the place, then?
Kind of all over the place. Yeah.
We don't like having to be out here.
We don't like it, but individuals come to meet up with online. We have to talk about it. Have to address it. So, what'd you tell your dad you were going to do, or her grandpa? What'd you tell him you were going to do, so they could watch your daughter?
He was just next door. They usually just pop in on her and stuff.
I gotcha. Did you tell her what you were going to do, or?
I was gonna go get gas and stuff.
Let's go get gas. Okay. Did you get gas?
No, I just.
What else?
So come meet up.
Well, because like I don't even bring girls around her.
Right.
So it's.
Were you planning to bring her around at any point?
Who? Oh hell no.
Not even once you turn 18.
No.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't even talk to her that long, to be honest.
Okay.
Like it was
Okay. How long were you planning on talking to her here at the park?
Here?
Yeah.
Maybe a half an hour or so.
Okay.
Go back home.
You're just gonna go back home to your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's too far away. Why? Like, I feel like I didn't really have no attention back then.
Okay. Even though up until meeting you were still talking sexual the whole time.
I need to get closer. That's wrong. Like I get you there.
Yeah.
Like, and it does look
But you see
bad.
how it's just hard for me to draw any other conclusion.
And it does.
You know.
Oh, failed attempt. That's hilarious. I am level 1 with this profession. So makes sense.
Just one of those things that's just hard to talk, Jameson.
And time to grind. More herbs. More herbs. More herbs and herbs.
But to actually go through it, I probably
Wouldn't have went through with it. Would have.
I couldn't gut it. To be
No, couldn't do it. Okay. But you can just talk about it.
My goodness, my God, my gracious. Oh, failed attempt.
Okay. Well, you being here to meet her shows that it kind of shows the follow through. Yeah. Now, if you didn't show up here, then I would believe it was just talk. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because what you're saying, if you want to talk to her about whatever, you could have just called her up on the phone and talked to her about it. And hey, why are you doing this? If that's what you were here to find out.
Yeah.
You know, that could have been done on the phone.
Short with conversations and stuff, so it was something.
So you figured.
Just kind of keep her replying.
Sipping on that Crown Royal.
Got it.
And I think
Get
you get more out of someone if you actually talk to them in person.
True. That's true.
Oh, that pound of bear and that purple bag.
Were you maybe trying to see?
Ah, look at that,
you were maybe
beautiful.
Trying to see if she had a cute butt in person. You talk about that a lot.
I know, but it's just like
No.
I just look at it as like online or text flirting.
Just flirting online with a. Okay.
That's dumb. And I agree. I agree.
It's not the smartest thing.
I feel stupid for doing it.
It's not the smartest thing, right?
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just when you get used to talking to older,
A bunch of escorts, a bunch of OF girls, and you kind of default to that conversation every time.
And I was even getting sick of that because I was going to delete it because that's like all I was running through, and that's all they wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
Well, it seems like that's all you really want to talk about too.
Well, I never really talked about like that through text or online.
What do you mean, like you?
No, not
everything I just read through was
before.
Oh, before. Okay.
Until like I try to get on that site or whatever. And
Oh, okay.
It's just kind of all the escorts and stuff on top.
Okay.
So like that and stuff.
Got it.
So
And this is the first girl you came across?
oh yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Oh, they're not. It's not these guys here.
So no, so these guys, it's long story, but these gentlemen are on duty right now.
Oh, gotcha. So they gotta call someone else. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So sheriff should be here in a couple minutes. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. A little bit.
Hi.
How you going?
Southwest at the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your name? I'm not shaking your hand. What's your name?
Oh, Jameson.
Jameson, sit down, please. Okay, do you have ID?
No.
You don't have ID? You don't have anything on you that says your name on it?
Said your ID's expired.
Oh
right?
yeah, hold on. All right, we are back.
I'm about to check. I need you to interlace your fingers behind your back like you're praying. Do that for me right now. Interlace your fingers behind your back like you're praying.
Sheriff was cooking. He's on the grill.
I was like, what was that?
Sheriff was cooking. He's on the grill.
Nothing on you that's dangerous or sharp? What's this? What's it like? Okay, don't look at me. Just look that way, all right?
Literally cooking.
Literally on the grill.
Where are you guys at?
Detroit area. Yeah.
We honestly had no idea this was even going on.
No, honestly, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I planning to write anything down today.
Oh, I hear you. It's like y'all were planning on grilling and chilling. That's what it looks like.
I think this is on anybody's being
Sorry we had to disturb that.
Yeah.
I mean, Sheriff had to come take his apron off. This gentleman, this is our adult decoy here. She poses on different social media platforms. This app was called Meet Me that they engaged on.
All right. Do you guys generate like a report or documentation with law enforcement? How does that work?
Not necessarily. We just usually send you guys everything, or I have everything on a flash drive, like for the chat logs and everything that you would need.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting at.
Yeah. The next guy said he's already at the hotel. He probably is checking in. So what's this event you guys got going on here?
This is called Union Community.
Okay. It's like an annual thing.
Double AIs on it.
Yeah, James. Yeah, this will be all the chats here. You can have that for your evidence.
Thank you.
Walks past the family fun day to meet a girl. Unbelievable.
In the four cop They're out here busting these guys are out here busting their ass trying to provide family safety and fun for the community. This bull shows up and does this.
Yeah, oh yeah. Walks past 4 state troopers.
Gotcha, beautiful.
just skip down past them. So if they're gonna give them a comfy ride, maybe. In the van.
It's a really nice van.
That is a nice van. It's like it's like one of those vans they pick up like all like the church people to go in.
Yeah, it's clean.
Another one at Hawk 2 Apart. We got more cops.
Teamwork.
Makes the dream work.
Oh, you know. See, he knows.
Long time no see.
Yeah, no kidding. I was like, what was that? Beginning of the summer, maybe?
It's sometime last. I think it was last year. Can't remember which one that was for. It's been so many.
So
Oh, that was for the one here that proposed to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
The
I
one
got
that got
a
away.
quick little briefing on what's exactly going on, but I want to
Yeah.
hear
Yeah. So
the more just of it.
Yeah. So basically, we post our decoy here posted up her profile on Meet Me.
Okay, gotcha. No, I'll just grab your. Do you have an ID on you? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. They just got all our IDs too.
They did it. They got all.
And they're taking them, boys.
Okay,
Believable.
Looks like they're gonna arrest him. Yeah. And,
Okay, looks good.
So, they need to do some search warrants. They found his car, so we're
Okay. Cool. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks
Appreciate
again,
it.
guys. We really appreciate you. Have a great night.
So he was sick of his bull. He was so happy when he was getting the cuffs put on him. He was like, yeah.
He's tired.
Yeah, you saw him put the pat on the back. He's like, yeah, good job, rookie. He's like, just like I taught you. I feel like that guy's like the uncle of the police department. That was 41-year-old Jameson from Lansing, Michigan. We had to up the family function here at the cookout. Unfortunately, sheriff had to come and take his apron off so he could spit some game to our boy Jameson. Sheriff wasn't happy, and the Lansing Police Department are taking it seriously. So, Lansing Police Department. We have another guy about an hour and 15 minutes from here in Wayland that got a hotel for the year-old decoy and plus a year-old decoy that he thinks he's meeting. So we're gonna go see what's up with that pretty soon. Hopefully it goes well.
All right, so what else we got to listen to?
I'm for music. It's gotta be my new one.
Your new album?
Yeah, play it on Amazon Music.
I'm a bad man. I'm wearing my purple ones tonight because it matches my shirt. It also matches the color for domestic violence awareness.
Like I don't understand like why people preach this guy, act like he's like some like God saint of all time. He's a dude that sits in like a rent cost apartment and watches Lummox and Breaking Banquet videos, and he'll sit there and fucking just be like, I agree. Tell Rent-A-Center that that's what people are doing with their fucking computer. Man, Hey Harvey never got to 1v1 with a girl in his life. Why would he want to try to 1v1 with a real man like me? They announced Fallout 4. And all of a sudden I had a reason to live again. Because I wanted to play Fallout 4.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Hey Harvey, aka Hey Avery, aka Hey Harvey, aka Regional Supervisor of Rent-A-Center, store number 478, aka The God Saint.
Oh, there it is. Hmm.
I've been left it.
Wait for those bad boys just to walk past us.
Best Buy has thousands of Black Friday deals.
Ma'am, listen. Ma'am, I'm trying to tell you something. Stop talking.
This is Remy, a very angry tech support scammer.
Stop talking.
I just need help. And now imagine what happens when a rival scammer pretends to be his boss and fires him.
I'm the verification officer, ma'am, from FTC. I'm calling you to check everything is fixed or not.
I spoke with someone named Remy. Is Remy available? Could I speak with Remy?
You won't be able to get in touch with them, ma'am.
I want to talk to Remy. I don't want to talk to this guy. Remy was mad.
I'm hacking into Remy's computer. This is you, right?
Yes, that's the recording.
We fired Remy, ma'am. We fired him. Remy is a scammer. He's not gonna be there anymore for you.
Wait, he's the bad guy? He's the hacker?
Yes, ma'am. He's the bad guy.
Oh my god! Oh, hold on one second.
Go wrong, so.
Hello?
Hello, hi, Linda. This is Remy.
Remy.
Microsoft, I had a word with you yesterday.
Remy, in a wild turn of events, someone from the FTC called me and said that you got fired.
Ma'am, those people are hackers.
What the heck?
All right.
This is the story of how I made two scammers hate each other.
You're not listening to me. You're talking.
But let's start from the very beginning.
Do I have permission to speak?
No.
They say in this world there's nothing certain except for death and taxes. And I'll add one more, which is printers never working when you need them to. And that's where our story begins today. Remy is a fake tech support scammer, eager to fix my printer problems.
Thank you for calling support. You're talking to Remy. How can I help you today?
My printer isn't working, so I typed in download HP printer drivers, and I clicked on the first link.
This is a clearly case of a hacking, okay? Are we on the same page?
Oh my god.
Normally you might try turning your printer on and off again, or checking if it's plugged in, but this scammer goes straight to the obvious. Your printer's hacked. I mean, this is good scamming, or tech support.
No, just type G, then RR. Ma'am, listen, are you pranking? Is this a prank call?
What?
Remy claims he can help as long as I give him access to remotely control my computer.
You told me to type GRR. I don't understand.
Further.
That means he can see everything I see and control the computer like if he was right there next to me.
Alright, you just type CD.
Question mark?
Just type CD. It will automatically comes up.
Oh, if I talk to the computer, does it?
Just type CD.
CD.
No.
Windows.
Just
type CD.
Sir, ma'am, listen.
Computer.
I'm out of range.
Welcome to Take 5 Oil Change.
Hey, how long will this take? I'm kind of in a rush.
Just 10 minutes.
Get out! 10 minutes?
It's August 13th, 2010. A weather-beaten Austrian mountaineer makes a satellite phone call from K2 base camp to his support team back home. When they picked up, his voice trembled with joy and tears as he announced, "I did it." This was Christian Stangl, and he just accomplished one of the most extraordinary feats of climbing, a solo speed ascent of K2, the world's most dangerous mountain. His team erupts in jubilation. The summit photos were breathtaking. Every mountaineering magazine in Europe wanted his story. This was the achievement of a lifetime. There was just one problem. Everything was perfect. Too perfect. And sometimes when something seems too good to be true, it's because it is. And what happened next would expose a problem.
Keep it moving.
Today we will be looking at two horrifying caving stories that went horribly wrong. The first story involves individuals who were goners the moment they stepped inside the deadly cave, while in the second story, you'll be left questioning who the actual victim really is. As always, viewer discretion is advised. The morning of May 2nd, 1976, dawned bright and clear across the Yorkshire Dales. 6 members of the Newcastle University Caving Club gathered their equipment and prepared for what they thought would be another exciting underground adventure. They had chosen Langstroth Pot, a challenging cave system near Upper Wharfdale, known for its dramatic vertical drops, rushing water, and series of underwater passages called sumps. The 6 friends, Martin Blackburn, Brian Fox, Donald Southern, and 3 others, had been caving together.
I wonder when I get Blink.
They trusted each other completely and had developed the skills necessary for tackling difficult cave systems. In 1976, cave diving was still a developing sport. Very few explorers had access to specialized scuba equipment, and freediving through short sumps was considered routine practice. The technique was straightforward. Take a deep breath, duck underwater, pull yourself along the passage using handholds on the rock walls, and surface in the next chamber where you could breathe again. It required good lung capacity, strong swimming skills, and absolute confidence in your abilities. The group entered Langstroth Pot in good spirits. They moved through the initial chambers methodically, following established routes and checking their equipment regularly. The cave was behaving exactly as they expected: cold, wet, and challenging, but nothing beyond their experience level. Water levels were normal for the season, and conditions seemed ideal for their planned route. As they progressed,
We're making good time, fellas. Good time. One-shotting this quest. Super impossible to get past.
Tackled with careful precision. They moved as a team, ensuring everyone made it safely through each section before continuing forward. Hours passed underground as they navigated the complex cave system. Finally, they reached the sump that would change everything. It appeared no different from the dozens of other underwater passages they had successfully navigated over the years. Water flowed through a submerged tunnel in the limestone, and on the other side,
one more.
they could see evidence of an air pocket where they would be able to surface and breathe. The plan was simple and routine. The first 3 spelunkers would dive through the sump, surface in the chamber beyond, rest and recover, then continue exploring while the remaining 3 followed when ready. It was a technique they had used countless times before in similar cave systems throughout the Yorkshire Dales. Martin Blackburn went first. He took several deep breaths to oxygenate his blood, hyperventilated briefly to purge carbon dioxide from his system, then took one final massive breath and disappeared beneath the dark water. The sump passage was perhaps 20 or 30 feet long, a distance that should have taken less than a minute to traverse for a strong swimmer. Brian Fox followed next, using the same preparation routine. Like Martin, he vanished into the dark water with confidence, his light disappearing into the submerged tunnel. Donald Southern went last of the first group, following the same technique that had served them well in cave after cave throughout their caving careers. They emerged as planned, gasping and triumphant, in what appeared to be a perfect air pocket on the far side of the sump. The chamber seemed like salvation, a place to rest, recover, and prepare for the next section of the cave. They had done it hundreds of times before in other caves. Surface in the air bell, catch your breath, and continue the exploration. This time was different. From the perspective of the 3 explorers still waiting their turn, everything appeared normal. Their friends had made the dive and presumably surfaced safely in the chamber beyond. There were no sounds of distress, no indication that anything had gone wrong. What the 3 cave explorers didn't know, what none of them could have known, was that the air pocket they had surfaced in was contaminated. The chamber contained what spelunkers call bad air, an atmosphere where oxygen had been depleted and replaced with dangerous levels of carbon dioxide. The atmosphere in the chamber was poison, but poison that looked, smelled, and felt exactly like normal air. There was no warning, no obvious sign of danger. The explorers surfaced, relieved to be breathing again after the stressful underwater swim. unaware that every breath was slowly killing them. Bad air can develop in underground chambers for several reasons. Organic matter decomposing in stagnant water can consume oxygen while producing carbon dioxide. Poor air circulation can allow dangerous gases to accumulate over time. Sometimes, the very rocks themselves can release gases that make breathing impossible. When Martin, Brian, and Donald surfaced in that chamber, gasping for air after their underwater swim, they were breathing poison. The gas was invisible, odorless, and absolutely deadly. With each breath, they were taking in less oxygen and more carbon dioxide than their bodies could handle. The effects of bad air are insidious. Unlike drowning, which is violent and obvious, carbon dioxide poisoning is quiet and deceptive. The victims might feel dizzy or confused at first. Their thinking becomes clouded. Physical coordination deteriorates. And then, without warning, consciousness simply fades away. The three young men had no idea what was happening to them. One moment they were recovering from their swim, planning their next move through the cave system. The next moment, their vision was blurring, their limbs were becoming heavy, and their minds were losing the ability to think clearly.
Come on, let me find some elders.
Brian and Donald lost
Elderbor,
consciousness and
give it to
slipped
me.
silently beneath the water. They didn't drown in the traditional sense. They were poisoned by the very air they trusted to save them after their underwater swim. Back at the original sump entrance, the remaining three waited for their friends to return or signal that it was safe to follow. Cave exploration often involves long waits as teams move through difficult passages, so initially there was no cause for alarm. But as minutes turned to hours, concern grew. The cave system beyond the sump wasn't particularly large or complex. Their friends should have returned by now, or at least made some noise to indicate they were safe and continuing their exploration. They called out. No response came back except the endless sound of flowing water. They tried shining their lights
Another
on the
one.
sun, hoping to see some
Beautiful.
sign of their friends, but the dark water revealed
Sure no one
nothing.
else is around to
Eventually,
steal it.
They made the difficult decision.
Thankfully, I'm all in a nice seat on all of my own.
Gone wrong and begin emergency procedures. This meant one of them would have to exit the cave system and seek help from the outside world.
Keep it moving.
leaving the others to continue monitoring the situation underground. When rescue teams finally entered Langstroth Pot with proper equipment and breathing apparatus, they made a discovery that shocked even experienced cave rescue specialists. The three missing people were found in the air pocket chamber beyond the sump, not struggling in the water, not trapped by fallen rocks, but simply floating peacefully as if they had fallen asleep. The rescue teams quickly realized what had happened when they tested the air in the chamber. The atmosphere was toxic, containing dangerous levels of carbon dioxide and insufficient oxygen to sustain human life. The chamber that should have been a safe haven had become a death trap. Martin Blackburn, Brian Fox, and Donald Southern had died not from any dramatic cave-in or underground flood, but from breathing air that looked and felt normal, but was actually poison. They had successfully completed their free dive through the sump, reached what appeared to be safety, and then been killed by the very element they needed most to survive. The rescue teams had to use specialized breathing equipment and work quickly to avoid becoming victims themselves. Even with proper gear, they could only spend limited time in the contaminated chamber before retreating to areas with breathable air. The investigation that followed revealed the cruel irony of the Langstroth Pot disaster. These three young men had done everything right according to the caving practices of their time. They were experienced, properly equipped for 1970s standards, and following techniques that had been used successfully in countless
Don't
other
look
cave systems.
behind you, leave that board to me. I need it so bad, don't take it from me.
A phenomenon that was poorly understood and virtually impossible to detect without specialized equipment that wasn't commonly available to recreational spelunkers in the 1970s. Today, every serious cave explorer knows the story of Martin Blackburn, Brian Fox, and Donald Southern. Their names are spoken with reverence in training sessions and safety briefings. Their death showcases that underground. Even the air you breathe can't be trusted without verification. This next story takes a chilling turn that will catch you completely off guard. Make sure you watch till the end. The morning of September 11th, 2002, began like countless others in Hawaii's rural fern forest subdivision. 3 hunters gathered their gear in the pre-dawn darkness, checking their headlamps, backup batteries, and emergency supplies one final time. Their destination was well known among locals. The Captain's Trail, a winding path that led through dense forest toward the Pu'u eruption area. This wasn't their first time navigating these trails, but Hawaii's landscape held secrets that even experienced outdoorsmen couldn't always predict. The path wound through thick vegetation, past towering tree ferns. Everything appeared normal at first, but somewhere along their route, the hunters made a fateful decision. Whether drawn by promising tracks or simply seeking to explore unfamiliar territory, they ventured away from the established trail. In Hawaii's volcanic landscape, this seemingly innocent choice would prove more dangerous than they could have imagined. The island's unique geology creates a labyrinthine network of lava tubes, hollow tunnels formed when the surface of flowing lava cools and hardens, while the molten rock beneath continues to flow. These tubes can extend for kilometers underground, creating vast subterranean mazes. When the hunters discovered what appeared to be a cave entrance, their curiosity overcame their caution. The opening seemed manageable, large enough to explore safely. What the hunters couldn't have known was that they were entering one of Hawaii's most complex lava tube networks. These weren't simple caves with clear entry and exit points, but interconnected tunnels that twisted and branched like underground highways. Some passages led deeper into the mountain, others connected to different tube systems entirely. Without proper mapping equipment or extensive knowledge of the specific network, navigation became increasingly difficult. As hours passed, their initial excitement turned to concern, then to genuine worry. The passages all began to look similar in the harsh light of their headlamps. Each turn seemed to lead to another identical tunnel, and attempts to retrace their steps only led to more confusion. In the maze-like passages, they got
Let's see
lost.
if I can actually sell
Meanwhile, above ground,
got too much.
Family members grew increasingly anxious
Too
as the
much,
hunters
too
failed
much.
to return at their expected time. The families knew the hunters were experienced, but they also understood the unique dangers of Hawaii's volcanic terrain. The call to emergency services came as darkness fell across the fern forest area. The Hawaii County Fire Department received the report of 3 missing hunters last seen heading toward the Captain's Trail area. This wasn't an unusual call for the department. Search and rescue operations in Hawaii's challenging terrain were unfortunately common occurrences.
You will buy stuff.
Firefighter Brent Matsuda received the emergency call at his station. At 41 years old, he was an experienced member of the Hawaii County Fire Department with years of training in the technical rescue operations. Matsuda had participated in numerous search and rescue missions across the Big Island's
This I could
diverse
probably get.
and often treacherous landscape.
Something
He
more.
understood the unique challenges posed by volcanic terrain, dense vegetation, and the network of lava tubes that honeycomb the island's interior. As part of the search team, Matsuda knew time was critical. In Hawaii's environment, missing persons faced multiple threats: dehydration, hypothermia in underground spaces, falls into hidden pits, and simple disorientation in dense forest. The volcanic landscape added another layer of complexity: unstable ground, hidden caverns, and the constant possibility of encountering active volcanic activity. The search began at first light on the morning of September 12th. Multiple teams spread out from the Captain's Trail, following different possible routes the hunters might have taken. The vegetation was incredibly dense, creating what locals called green tunnels, where rescuers had to push through walls of ferns, vines, and undergrowth. In many areas, the foliage was so thick that searchers literally walked on top of it, never touching the actual ground beneath. This was precisely the condition that made Hawaii's volcanic terrain so dangerous. The luxuriant plant growth created what appeared to be solid ground, but was actually a network of vegetation suspended over hidden gaps, caves, and pits. Experienced locals knew to watch for dark spots in the vegetation, areas where the normal pattern of plant growth was interrupted, potentially indicating a hidden opening beneath. Around 10 a.m., Matsuda was working his way through particularly dense vegetation when he encountered what appeared to be solid ground covered with native ferns. The moment his weight shifted onto what he believed was solid foliage, everything changed. The ferns and undergrowth gave way beneath him, revealing a hidden opening that had been completely camouflaged by the plant cover. The opening measured approximately 1.5 by 2.4 meters, 5 by 8 feet. Large enough to be dangerous, but small enough to be easily concealed by the thick vegetation. Matsuda plummeted into darkness, falling approximately 30 meters down, 100 feet, into one of Hawaii's unusually large lava tubes. The fall was catastrophic, a straight drop through complete darkness into the unknown. His training had prepared him for many scenarios, but nothing could have prepared him for this sudden, violent descent into the volcanic underworld. The impact at the bottom of the tube was severe. Matsuda's protective equipment, his helmet and backpack, absorbed some of the tremendous force, but the injuries were still life-threatening. He suffered broken ribs that made breathing difficult and painful. Vertebrae in his spine were damaged, threatening potential paralysis. Internal injuries affected his liver and kidneys, organs critical to his survival. Above ground, Matsuda's fellow firefighters heard his cry and immediately recognized the sound of someone falling into a hidden pit. This type of accident was all too familiar to Hawaii's rescue personnel. The thick vegetation that made the island so beautiful also created countless hidden dangers for anyone working in the forest. The rescue operation shifted from searching for the missing hunters to saving one of their own. Matsuda was seriously injured at the bottom of the lava tube. The smooth volcanic walls made climbing impossible without equipment, and his injuries prevented any significant movement. Fellow firefighters quickly assembled rope rescue equipment and began the complex process of extracting Matsuda from the deep pit. The opening was barely large enough to allow equipment and personnel to be lowered down, and the smooth walls of the lava tube provided few anchor points for securing ropes. The extraction required precise coordination and extensive technical expertise. Matsuda had to be carefully secured in a rescue harness without aggravating his spinal injuries. Once brought to the surface, Matsuda was immediately prepared for emergency medical evacuation. A helicopter was called to transport him to the nearest hospital capable of handling his severe injuries. The remote location of the accident made ground transportation impossible, and his condition was too critical for any delays.
That peace
while
bloom.
the rescue community worked frantically
Give me
to
that
save
peace
Matsuda,
bloom.
the original
I'm sitting here
location
trying to
was
level my
unreached.
shit because I forgot to get it
Pressed forward
when
with
I was
the
leveling.
Now understanding firsthand
Now I'm
just how
paying
dangerous
for
the
it.
terrain had become. The accident had revealed the hidden network of lava tubes beneath their feet, providing crucial insight into where the hunters might have disappeared. The rescue teams split into
Good
smaller
night,
groups,
Well,
each
2.5
taking
hour
different
stream
approaches
tonight.
to
Nothing
the
crazy.
underground search. They analyzed the terrain, looking for other potential cave
Chill
entrances that might connect to the same lava tube system where Matsuda had fallen.
Alrighty.
The hunters had been missing for over 24 hours now.
Well,
and
if
time
anyone's
was critically short.
here,
Using their knowledge of the local
I appreciate you
geology and the newly
watching me.
discovered tube system, the teams made educated predictions about the most
Again, I'm
likely
streaming on
routes
Kick,
the hunters
Twitch,
could have taken
and
on the
YouTube by the
ground.
name of Mike
They systematically
Burgers.
checked multiple
2
cave
E's.
openings, calling into
Burgers.
the darkness and listening carefully.
You guys have a
for
wonderful night.
response.
That Gadisi will be streaming. Should be streaming tomorrow night. I don't see why I shouldn't. Probably later on tomorrow night. Probably another like 3-hour stream or something. Nothing crazy. Probably play some Battlefield or some Mark. Or play some Dredge. We'll see.
But unmistakably
That Gadisi. God bless.